I've beaten a load of brutal Resident Evil 2 challenge runs in my time, from single weapon restrictions to only using ammo already available in the guns I find. It would be fair to say Leon and Claire have been pushed to the edge time and time again. This is a supercut of the toughest runs I've faced, and it includes a bonus unseen challenge at the end. Let's get to it.
Good afternoon all, Specky Bandit here and welcome to the channel. Are you ready for a brutal, intense challenge? Well, I certainly wasn't, but I tried one anyway. Today we are going to be tackling a Lightning Hawk only run for Resident Evil 2. Firstly, we're going to have to play on the second run campaign to allow us to get the Lightning Hawk before the first mandatory fight, meaning we are in for a tougher experience with more enemies. Secondly, it's going to take a while to even get a weapon, meaning the first section of the game is going to be all kinds of tough. Even with a gun in hand, it's not like we're going to be able to use it very often. The Lightning Hawk may be able to punch holes in a tank, but with 60 rounds at base for the entire run, we aren't going to have ammo to spare. Hell, this might not even be possible. Last up, the rules. Number 1, the Lightning Hawk is the only weapon we're allowed to use, excluding one mandatory exception. Number 2, hardcore difficulty unless we get to the point where the challenge is outright impossible. And finally, number 3, no sub-weapons. If we can't dodge an enemy, then we need to fight it or take our lumps. Okay, let's get into it.
Excellent!
In the first section of the game, we have one objective, and that is to survive. We need a weapon, and until we get it, we are going to have to be at the very top of our dodging game. Thankfully, we are, giving the zombies the runaround by baiting them and weaving around them. Dodging them isn't terribly difficult in most situations, but it requires complete concentration, and maintaining that concentration isn't always easy. This means we occasionally slip up, and the zombies do get to enjoy a Leon Kennedy cornucopia. In the east side of the building, we grab a few key items to allow us to explore further, before heading into the entrance hall. Unlike in the standard playthrough, this area is infested with the undead, so we will need to be very careful when traversing it, especially as we'll do so often. In the western hallway, we sneak past the liquor and then grab the C4 detonator. We dodge the zombies in the hallway, then make our way up the western staircase to the locker room to grab the ornate box. We need this to get the Lightning Hawk, so there's no way we're passing this one up. We head to the attic, navigating a few close calls along the way, and then down to the library to grab the red book. Back across on the east side, we acquire the red jewel that allows us to open the ornate box. Before we deal with that though, we beat a hasty retreat from a sudden liquor appearance, before getting ganged up on in the hall by 2 zombies.
Ouch, that hurts.
With the red jewel in hand, we open the ornate box to receive the STARS badge. We pick our way through the undead on the way back to the locker room, as they take chunks out of us of course. We stop the steam overflow and then head through to the STARS office to grab the detonator battery. And the Lightning Hawk of course. It might as well be a paperweight for all we can use it at this stage, but boy do I feel better about having it. And Leon certainly looks at least 12% cooler simply by holding it. Anyway, as we leave the office, Mr. X appears nice and early to increase the difficulty of this challenge that we were clearly missing up until this point. We cower in fear for a little bit, before making a break for the attic, while grabbing the unicorn medallion along the way. We pop the ceiling zombie to make sure we have an escape route, then set the C4 off to access the second medallion. Of course, Mr. X appears a little too early, so we run him around while in a state of absolute terror before going back for the medallion. With this in hand, we head back to the main hall, grab the lion medallion, and then sneak out of there before Mr. X catches us again. On the way to the G1 boss fight, we make a small detour to grab the long barrel for the Lightning Hawk. This significantly increases the gun's damage and will help our ammo go a hell of a lot further. We head into the G1 boss fight, having only fired 1 round at this point, with 16 rounds available, which is almost perfect. Unfortunately, this is the first moment where the run could end. If we don't have enough ammo here, then there's absolutely nothing we can do about it. To make this work, we need to make every bullet count. We need pinpoint accuracy, we need headshots, we need eye shots, and each of those shots needs to be fully focused for maximum damage. We need to dodge blows and conserve our dwindling healing supply. We need to be perfect. Or at least that's what I thought, before we took him down in record time, with loads of ammo remaining. Well, this gives me some hope for the rest of the run at least. In the garage, we witness a gruesome death at the hands of Mr. X. Grab the crank handle, turn the power back on, and make a break for it past some dogs back up to the RPD. In the break room hall, we clear the way with some skillful shooting,
Double kill.
before using our fancy footwork to make our way up to the storage room. After grabbing the large cog, we ask Mr. X to politely move a helicopter out of our way. After evading him, we head over to grab the jack from the western storage room. Knowing that Mr. X will be hot on our heels, we'll wait for him to catch up with us so that we can get past him before fast walking our way down the western hallway away from the liquor and him. We make a break for the library and line up the bookcases, with zombies and Mr. X hot on their heels. We dodge into the clock tower and grab the electronic part. On the way back out, I start to panic, as there are 2 zombies in our way and they simply won't move. I try for another double kill headshot skill shot, and fail. Still, we duck past the one that is still standing and make our way back to the break room hall uneventfully. In the hall, we get chewed up a bit, but not enough to stop us from getting back to the garage. With practiced hands, we skillfully evade all the dogs and make our way back to the cell block. We grab the garage pass and then make our escape. We dance around Mr. X gracefully before running straight into a group of zombies. After escaping the RPD, making our way into the sewers and decapitating a giant sewer alligator, we spend a brief stint as Ada. She is entirely defenceless, but we are used to that by now, so we mostly invade the encroaching zombies. I did say mostly, right? Anyway, we escape Mr. X, foil Annette's plans for dinner, and then wrap up this section. Back with Leon, we have a relatively simple time evading the sewer zombies and the G-mutant on the route to the safe room. Our plan at this point is to head back to the RPD to get the laser sight upgrade for the Lightning Hawk and grab the root plug along the way. We start by performing another stylish double kill.
Double kill.
Then we grab the sewer keys before fending off some unwanted advances. We bait them to one side, trudge through the sewers and then head upstairs. After a close call in the elevator, we head back up to the RPD and grab the laser sight upgrade. Anyway, we grab the root plug, get gnawed on a little bit, and then head off to grab the last couple of plugs. To say this did not go to plan would be an understatement. Eventually, after figuring out how to get ourselves beaten up in just the right way, we manage to make our way to the remaining plugs. We get them, and then panic murder a couple of zombies. There is absolutely no way I'm risking going through that section again. Thankfully, the trip back is smooth sailing, so on to the G2 boss fight. At first, the G2 boss fight seems fairly straightforward, with him taking a knee after only a few rounds. We slam him with the crane and then load a few more rounds into him before stopping to do some mental maths. There is no guarantee he will go down after only 2 crane strikes. The sheer number of bullets we would need to use to down him 3 times really isn't an attractive proposition. If we keep using ammo here, then there is no way we can finish this run, and that just isn't an option I want to consider at this stage. So we risk it and do something crazy. We stop firing and start relying upon leading them into the path of the crane. It's a huge risk. If we mistime it, it won't hit him, or even worse, it'll take us out. Somehow though, we nail this perfectly 2 times in a row, and we end this fight with hope still alive. In Nest, we dodge and weave our way through to the first access upgrade without any real bother, before heading over to the greenhouse area. This goes surprisingly smoothly, with us dodging the first ivy, filling up a container of herbicide, and then making our way down to power up the place without any hassle. A pair of lickers pounces out to tear us to pieces, but we simply ignore them and walk into the cooling lab. We chill the vial and then head on out. On the way back upstairs, we are forced to use a round on a stray ivy after many failed attempts at dodging it. There was another route we could have taken, but that would have meant missing out on the yellow gunpowder, which essentially translates to 6 rounds. We cannot afford to lose 6 rounds. I think 1 bullet's probably worth the cost. After dispensing the herbicide and grabbing the next access upgrade, we make a break for the exit, firing a few rounds into the ivies blocking our path. It's a shame to use the ammo, but it's not like we have much choice here. 1 grab and we would be gone. Over on the other side of Nest, we prepare for the G3 boss fight, aka Bullet Sponge McGee. We go into the fight with 30 rounds on us and 2 more available in the arena. This doesn't feel great. I'm sure we can take him down, but I'm not sure we can get through the rest of the game if we don't nail every shot. The fight itself isn't terribly difficult, as we have items to heal through a decent number of blows, but ammo conservation is at the forefront of my mind. We miss more than a few shots, but we do take him down, with 3 rounds remaining. There's no more ammo we can get at this stage, so I guess the question is, can we beat the game with only 3 rounds? I pushed on in desperation, but quickly found out that the answer is in fact no. I retry, and second attempt goes much more to plan, with us nailing practically every shot. That being said, the guy still has an unbelievable amount of health. We end the fight with 11 rounds, which is considerably better, but it's still not exactly ammo going spare at this point, is it? It's make or break time, I think. After a brief escape sequence, we are face to face with Mr. I can't take a hint and just bugger off. This fight is actually relatively straightforward, in that we simply have to survive until we are forced to use the rocket launcher. Admittedly, you could argue that this fails the challenge, as the rocket launcher is another weapon. I don't count this as a failure since the use of the rocket launcher is mandatory, but if you disagree, let me know in the comments below. Anyway, surviving this fight long enough to get the rocket launcher is easier said than done. Evading his regular attacks isn't a huge problem, but his insta-kill charge attack either needs to be blocked by a rock or deflected by a shot to the heart. He attempts this 3 times and we manage to get through using only 2 rounds before finishing him off. We bait the zombies at the bottom of the elevator before making a dash for the train. Damn, we do not have a lot of ammo left, that was a close one. But it's fine, we're practically done at this point, right? Oh, wait a second. I don't think that's true, is it? And then I remembered. And then the horror set in. This is the second run scenario. We're definitely not finished yet.
Jesus.
What was that?
I don't know. I'll go. You take care of Sherry.
Birkin tears the train apart in his final form and slowly destroys everything on his way towards gobbling us up. Every shot here could matter, so we wait until he moves towards us. The closer he is, the more damage we will do, so we need to wait until we can get the best bang for our buck. He gets closer and we hold. He gets even closer and we hold. We wait until we can metaphorically see the whites of his eyes and then we unload. And we unload again and again, ultimately timing this almost perfectly until he is rendered defenceless mere feet from tearing us to pieces. So we did it, and with 3 rounds to spare. Easy, right? I guess I really shouldn't have been panicking. We had plenty of ammo to spare. There was no real risk after all. Okay, actually, can I drop the tough guy act now? Jesus, Mary and Joseph, that was close, and I did not believe it could be done right up until the moment it was actually done. Why did I do this to myself? I mean, don't get me wrong, there were certainly a few places where we could have saved a couple of rounds earlier in the game, but I think that would have taken a better gamer than me, if I'm being honest. Hell, that was stressful, but it was also fun, I think. Good afternoon all, Specky Bandit here and welcome to the channel. Today we are going to ponder another question. Is it possible to beat the game using only the grenade launcher? Surely the answer is yes, right? I mean, this thing is an incredible addition to any arsenal, and it packs one hell of a punch with its fire and acid grenades. So yeah, spoiler warning, I had absolutely no idea what I was getting into with this one. It was agonising, and I was in utter despair at points. But did I succeed? Stick around to find out. Last up before we get started, the rules. Number 1, the only weapon we're allowed to use is the grenade launcher. Number 2, hardcore difficulty unless the challenge is deemed impossible. And number 3, no escape items allowed, we have to take our lumps or learn to get really good at dodging. Okay, let's get to it.
Excellent!
Since this is a grenade launcher run, we get the pleasure of spending some time with Claire. Just look at her. Brave, bold, compassionate, and a killer smile. And a notable lack of bad one-liners.
Something tells me he's not a cop.
Leon, get out of here. This is going to be a nice change of pace, I think. We open the run en route to the RPD side entrance, immediately giving away the fact that we are playing a second run playthrough. While we navigate the early sections of the RPD and put our dodging skills to good work, let's chat about the run.
Hey man, can we have a quick chin wiggle?
I chose the second run as I really wanted to see if the G5 boss fight would throw a spanner in the works for this challenge. There's also the question of ammo, which is slightly more plentiful in the second run scenario. Although we will need more overall to clear the G5 boss fight, we get more early, which at least reduces the risk of getting stuck early, and that makes for a better challenge in my opinion. Anyway, back with Claire, we get chewed on a few times due to bad dodges, pick up the C4 detonator, grab the unicorn and lion medallions, grab the weapon locker card, and then head back to the safety deposit room to pick up the launcher. Unfortunately, for now at least, this thing is a useless hunk of metal.
It's boring. It didn't do anything.
While we aren't going to risk wasting ammo on anything other than a boss for a very long time, having it does at least feel like we've achieved something. We grab the detonator battery, then make our way upstairs to grab the last medallion. After a nice uneventful trip back to the secret escape route, we get geared up to face Birkin. Having actually planned this run to maximise the ammo available, I know we can craft 9 acid rounds at this stage without leaving anything on the table.
So efficient!
With these and the 14 flame rounds we have gathered, we head down to face G1. En route, we get to meet Sherry, who's having a bit of a moment.
You need help.
Before Birkin grabs us and decides it's time for a scrap.
Round 1. Fight!
There's not a huge amount to say about this fight. We primarily use acid rounds to deal damage, trying to hit Birkin's head and eye as much as possible. We keep our distance and only take shots when we know they'll connect. We let the acid damage over time tick as much as possible between shots to maximise the damage output per shot. This way we can conserve some ammo. We end up having to resort to some flame rounds, which we use in exactly the same way. Eventually Birkin goes down and we move on without a scratch on us.
No battle damage.
We get to meet Sherry properly now that our dear old dad has buggered off, before she almost immediately gets abducted by this bloated balloon of a man, Chief Irons. He clocks us with a Glock and makes his escape with poor Sherry in tow, who drops her locket in the kerfuffle. We vow revenge on him.
I'll get you, you fucker!
We will see him suffer for what he has done.
You will suffer unimaginably.
We head through the kennels, skirting a few liquors and then grab the diamond key. After dodging a few zombies and getting closer to a liquor than I'm comfortable with, we head through to the Chief's secret elevator control room to grab a stock for our launcher. This massively improves our accuracy, which is going to be great down the road a ways.
This will come in handy.
Back up in the police station, we get to see the Chief's lavish office and extravagant personal collection.
This place is ridiculous.
Yep.
We find the garage pass we need, but we can't get it yet, so it's time for some fetch questing.
Fetch!
We grab the heart key, the large cog, and the first electronic part, then trigger Mr. X.
X gone, give it to ya.
Which is a blessing of sorts, since it gives us access to the rest of the police station once more. On the west side, we grab the jack, dodge some zombos, and then grab the second electronic part. We head back to the Chief's office and retrieve the pass. Then there's a phone call.
Good to see you again, Claire.
Oh, it's the Chief.
We've got unfinished business.
He wants us to deliver the pendant to the orphanage, and he won't give us directions, despite that obviously making it more likely that he will get what he wants.
It is not logical.
Over in the orphanage, poor Sherry has been locked in the world's most secure room. After solving an ultra-complex box puzzle containing a pair of safety scissors, we escape our prison and head down the stairs to find that the entrance is locked.
Help me, I'm gonna die!
We head over to the Chief's playroom and attempt to grab the keys. But oh no, he spots us! So we glass him and make a break for it. After some awesome evasion on Sherry's part, the Chief takes a break to powder his nose, allowing us to grab the keys and make a break for freedom. Well, sort of. We don't get very far, but dear old dad is back, and he is mad as all heck. Back with Claire, we escape the RPD with a few stalkers hot on our tail. We make a break for it, dodge some dogs and zombies, then zigzag to the orphanage. Once inside, we get the satisfaction of seeing the Chief suffer, find Sherry, then immediately abandon her and hope that Mr. X will use her as a chew toy for long enough that we can escape. Thankfully, this is unnecessary, as dear old dad comes to our aid once again. That's got to be Father of the Year material right there, I think.
And by the way, Father of the Year here.
In the sewers, we get separated from Sherry,
Where's Sherry?
but we quickly find her and realise that dear old dad isn't quite the caliber of man we thought he was. She is now infected.
Infected.
She needs help, and she needs it quick, so we go to work. After some more zombie dodging, and some not zombie dodging, we grab some extra supplies and the rook plug. Down in the G-pit, we follow our usual no weapon tactic of getting grabbed repeatedly until we luck past everything. This one was rather close, with a coffin fit allowing a zombie to get within inches of us.
That was close. Too close.
After locking some zombies in a cage, we grab the remaining plugs and dash back to safety. We solve the plug puzzle and head through to the G2 fight. Now this fight is frankly straightforward. So much so that we don't even bring a weapon with us. The plan is to simply lure him into the swinging trailer 3 times without having to damage him or getting hit ourselves. Easy, right? Well, actually, yeah, it sort of is once you practice this dozens of times.
1 strike, 2 strikes, 3 strikes, and he's gone.
Outside, we grab Sherry and head for the nest to try and get her a cure. After finding somewhere to stash Sherry, we make our way through the nest kitchen to grab an access upgrade. Over in the greenhouse, we power the place up, fire the first non-boss round of the run, mix and then chill some herbicide, and then head back upstairs to get the next access upgrade. After firing a few more shots to deal with some ivies, including a flaming double kill, we get kitted out for the game's 3rd boss. We prepare by crafting almost all of the ammo we possibly can, as I expect this guy to be a bit of a damage sponge. The plan is to keep our distance and carefully evade him, while using acid grenades to take him down. These can be used to stun him, which naturally makes the dodging considerably easier. If we focus fire his eyes, then it is possible to pop them and save some ammo. If you pop all 3 of them, he will immediately drop to the next health threshold. Anyway, after spending a lot of ammo, but without any other particularly notable problems, we down G3 and make our escape. Probably should have mentioned this earlier, but this is Sherry's mum. She just died. Oh well, moving on.
Moving on.
As the threat of the facility's self-destruction looms, we've run for it, dodging some ivies and spending a few acid rounds to keep them off our back. Sherry takes what feels like a lifetime to open the door, but when it does open, we head through to our escape route, the train elevator. After safely securing Sherry in the carriage, we activate the elevator and then get jumped once more by Birkin. With all the ammo we have left, we go to work. Birkin floors us more than a few times, but we give him as good as we get by focus firing his eyes in an attempt to take him down. We fire shot after shot after shot, nailing him over and over again. We dodge blows, we pop eyes, we bathe him in acid and fire. And then we run out of ammo. Oh, that isn't good.
I think I'm in trouble here.
Okay, this is fine. Let's just let the timer run out and try again. I must have missed a few shots here and there, right? And those shots really do matter, as the only way to hurt this guy is to pop his eyes, which is a lot harder to do than you would think. So we do try again, and we nail almost every shot, but he isn't showing any signs of taking damage. And I unfortunately have to admit it, we just can't do this. We can't beat him. We've failed. Well, I guess that's it then. I guess the run's over. Well, thanks for watching, I suppose. But no, I refuse to give up. Surely we can solve this. Surely science can save us. I began the investigation and experimentation phase and found out about an interesting mechanic: difficulty adjustment. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but this basically boils down to the idea that if you play badly, then you deal more damage and receive less as a consequence. We can take advantage of this. It's time to play badly. So this challenge is impossible in hardcore, but surely we can do it on standard difficulty, right? After downing G1 with a few less rounds, we simulate our fight with G2 using a rocket launcher before smashing him with a crate. We deal with G3, saving some more rounds, and then come face to face with G4 with a whole load of extra ammo. We go to work, and it is clear that we are having an impact, but we still can't down them. Okay, so we failed standard 2. Last chance time, assisted difficulty, here we come. After another dash through the game that results in a whole lot more ammo, we are again face to face with Birkin. We try and again fail, but not without the tiniest sliver of hope. His eyes went red. We were getting closer. And then a new problem emerged. The timer itself. With this much ammo, even if we can down Birkin, we have to dish out the damage at such a pace that it's incredibly difficult to be accurate enough. And then it happened. I fired a shot that caused all of his eyes to pop and his legs to fall off. He was in his death throes and would die without us firing another shot. We had done it. And then the timer ran out. I now knew it was possible though. I just had to be faster. Quick sandwich break later.
Don't worry. I brought sandwiches.
And I came back to it. I focused, isolating myself from external distractions, and went to work. And then I did it. We downed him. He started crawling about until he eventually shrieked, collapsed, and allowed us to escape. So we had made it to the end of the game, practically without any ammo left, but having performed the impossible. What a rush. What a relief. What a terrible situation to be in, being that there's still one more boss to take out. But don't worry, I'm not going to play any tricks this time. I knew this was coming, and I saved a single white gunpowder, knowing that there was a large gunpowder available before the final fight. So ammo isn't going to be a problem.
You had me worried.
We go into the final fight, wait for Birkin's weak point to show, and then go to town on him as fast as we can, resulting in him eating us alive. Oh, damn it, what fresh hell is this?
Oh, what fresh hell is this?
Okay, we manipulate the difficulty adjustment to the lowest possible value and then try again. And what do you know? He goes down to around mere inches away from us, answering the question, is it possible to beat Resident Evil 2 using only the grenade launcher? Well, yes, but only on the easiest difficulty, with a huge amount of manipulation of the game's mechanics, and an unbelievable amount of luck. Still, a win's a win though, I suppose. If you guys enjoyed this run, please do me a favour, and don't attempt it. It had some fun problems to solve, but that G4 fight required at least 30 attempts on the lowest difficulty, and I'm just not sure anyone deserves to go through that. Good afternoon all, Spiky Bandit here and welcome to the channel. Today we are asking the question, is it possible to beat Resident Evil 2 with only the shotgun? So rather than showing you the results, I wanted to do something a little different this time and look at the behind the scenes of creating a challenge like this.
Come behind the scenes!
With a challenge like this, there often isn't a clear route to victory. To know one way or another, it can be important to get into the guts of the game's mechanics. As such, I'm going to deep dive into a few key sections that could stump us and skip into anything that can be reasonably easily solved.
Ignore.
I'm also approaching this script a little differently from usual by writing it as I'm recording it to give you a better look at the challenges faced as I first encounter them. Last up before we get into this, the rules. No non-mandatory weapons other than the shotgun. No secondary items. Hardcore difficulty unless that is deemed impossible. We'll also be playing the game on second run so that we have to deal with the G5 boss fight. Okay, let's get to it.
Excellent!
So going into this challenge, I know it is about having enough shotgun shells to get through each boss fight and a few spare to deal with tricky enemies like Ivy zombies. I'm reasonably confident that there will be enough ammo to get through the game, but a lot of it won't be accessible early enough, which could be a real problem. In terms of testing, I first identified the sections that would require some analysis, namely G1, G3 and G5. G2 is relatively easy to take out without firing a single shot, so I'm not considering him. And the Super Tyrant fight is mostly about staying alive. We might need a few shells to stun him, but I can't see this being the thing that breaks the run. Also, being that we have completed a number of challenges at this point, I think I can safely say that we know how to dodge a few zombies. I'm going to enjoy some of the unlocked weapons for the game for the sake of getting to the meat of this challenge quickly. Our first interesting encounter will be the G1 fight, for which we should know a couple of things. Firstly, we have 28 shotgun shells, which is the maximum possible available at this point, having mixed all the yellow gunpowder available with regular gunpowder. In reality, this is one more than I would have liked to have mixed, as it actually means you have less ammo overall for the entire run. The best bang for buck you can get with shotgun shell crafting is to mix a yellow gunpowder with a large gunpowder, so I always want to do that if possible. In this scenario, there will be 7 yellow gunpowders left in the game and 8 large gunpowders, so we are missing out on 1 mix. I doubt that this will matter, since the last 2 large gunpowders aren't available until the G5 boss fight, at which point I'm really hopeful we won't have an ammo shortage.
We're out of ammo!
Secondly, you can see an overlay showing some useful information. For those who haven't seen this before, this is a speedrunning tool that I'll link in the description. Basically, it allows me to get some real-time feedback about the damage I'm doing, and helps me to work out any weak spots or immunity windows on the enemies. It admittedly barely works for me, with it consistently not updating in real time, but it still helps. We go into this first fight fairly blindly, with the focus being to simply land as many full blasts as we can, to see if he goes down, and if not, at least see how close we can get. I unload every last shell into him, and suffer a fair few blows, since we have to get up close and personal with him. Unfortunately, he doesn't go down, and he has a whole lot of health left. I tried again, focusing on headshots, and it is clear that these do more damage, but still nowhere near enough. On the next attempt, I tried to take shots on his arm eye when it is visible, and again it does increase damage, but the result is still a bad loss. So at this point I turned to some damage tables available online from people way smarter than me who have actually done in-depth research into the game. When looking at this information, there are 3 things to consider: the difficulty adjustment, the weapon you're using, and the enemy you are facing. The difficulty adjustment can be seen on the tool overlay, and it is basically a grade bound number determined by how well you're playing. On hardcore, the number can be between 8,000 and 12,999, which actually translates to a grade 8 or 9. Generally speaking, the lower the grade, the more damage you deal, and the less you take. Unfortunately, this isn't terribly relevant to us at the moment, since the damage you deal doesn't actually change between grades 8 and 9, so there isn't anything we can affect here. The weapon damage is interesting though. For the shotgun, damage comes in 2 forms: impact and pellet damage. There is a flat damage dealt at the centre of the blast, and the game then models the path of 8 separate pellets, with each dealing a small amount of damage on impact. It should be obvious, but we want all the pellets to connect, meaning we want to be at point blank range when we fire. The enemy stats are interesting in that they tell us how much health G1 has, what his weak points are, and what his resistances are. They tell us that we will do the most damage by shooting him in the head or the arm eye from point blank range. But even if we do that, we won't do much damage, since G1 has huge shotgun resistance. Specifically 70% pellet resistance and 80% impact resistance. If we do the calculations, then we find that the maximum damage a single blast can do is 154. With rounding, this requires 33 perfect shotgun blasts, which we simply couldn't land even if we had enough ammo. Now technically speaking, the game does allow shotgun blasts to crit doing 2.67 times damage, which would make this possible, but I couldn't find any information on the crit rate. This is technically possible, but it would require all of our blasts to still be perfect. I tried a few more times and didn't see any evidence of us getting critical shots. Even on our best run, where we seemed to nail every shot, we only did a little over 3,500 damage, and we simply cannot make up that difference.
Failed.
Okay, so that's enough evidence for me to declare this challenge impossible on hardcore difficulty. But since I was here anyway, I thought we might as well carry on to test the rest of the game. If we could complete the rest of the game on hardcore, having spent all of our current ammo in this fight, then that's proof enough to me that the rest of the game would be possible on a lower difficulty.
Okay, right, that makes sense.
We spend our ammo, then finish G1 off with a couple of rockets before moving on. We head to the sewers, dodging the Krog and then spending a shell on him. Then as promised, dodge our way to victory against G2. Our journey through the lab is smooth enough, but I do make sure we have the shotgun with us to deal with any mandatory Ivy zombies, with us spending 6 rounds in total. We go into the G3 fight with loads of ammo, 62 shells to be exact, We have a single yellow gunpowder stash for now, so if ammo does become a problem, then we may have a way out. He starts with 15,000 health, which translates to 54 perfect shotgun blasts on his eyes. I can't see us landing that many perfect shots, and anything that misconnects will be reduced by at least 50% damage. The plan is to take advantage of popping the boss's eyes. If we pop all 3 eyes, then wait for him to get back up, his health will have immediately dropped to the next threshold, saving us some ammo. The 2 thresholds are around 10,000 and 6,000 health, although I couldn't actually find any information on how much health each of the eyes individually have, so I'm not really sure how much ammo popping these eyes will actually save. Still, they are the best target regardless of whether or not we pop them, since they don't have global damage resistance unlike the rest of his body. I'm estimating between 8 and 12 shells will get him down from 15,000 to 6,000 health by using this knowledge. In the second phase, he has a cluster of eyes on his chest, so the target is pretty easy. It should only take 21 blasts from there, but I don't expect that to happen for a second. I'm thinking 25 to 30 will finish the job in reality. So I played terribly, and I mean terribly.
Terrible job. I know.
Getting the living hell beaten out of me and burning through an unbelievable amount of healing. With having to be so close to him, I just couldn't get his rhythm down at all in my first attempt. I also missed quite an embarrassing number of shots. All that being said though, we did take him down first try, using 50 rounds. This is a lot higher than I predicted, but it still left us with 12 rounds. Knowing what's ahead, I'm fairly comfortable that we will get through the next section, although we may not have enough ammo left for G5. The route to the Super Tyrant involves a couple more Ivies that require a shell each. The Super Tyrant himself will require 2 to 3 blasts to stop his insta-kill attacks, although we might be able to save a shell by using the rubble to deflect him. He is easy enough to deal with, although I do miss one shot and need to double fire, wasting a shell. We spend 3 shells, then blow him up with a mandatory rocket, power through some zombies, and reach the train to face G5. We approach this fight with 12 shells available, having crafted the last 6 in the game using the gunpowder we saved. This fight could either be really easy or really hard.
Could go either way.
He takes very little damage initially, but his damage reduction falls through the floor as he gets close to the end of the carriage. While 12 rounds shouldn't be able to get through his 10,000 hit points in theory, I'm hoping that if we simply unload into him close to the last moment before he eats us, then he should go down easily enough. And thankfully, I'm right to think that, as he goes down without giving us any pause. So we know that the run is just about possible on hardcore, with G1 being the only stumbling block. It's unfortunate, but I guess you can't win them all. I'm expecting G1 to be entirely possible in standard difficulty though, so let's prove that before wrapping things up. Back with G1, we go to town on him, taking advantage of headshot stunts. He isn't much of a threat, and we do a load of damage, more than any attempts on hardcore, but he still doesn't go down with the available ammo. On standard difficulty, the difficulty adjustment can range from 3,000 to 8,999, and thankfully we went into this fight at maximum value, meaning we have lots of room to spare. In theory, we could be doing 50% more damage, so I feel pretty confident at this stage. After letting ourselves die, we come back in with a score in the 5,000s and go to town. It isn't the cleanest of fights, and we certainly waste a few rounds, but we are able to down them with 2 shotgun shells to spare. So I think we've done enough to prove that this game can be beaten using only the shotgun, albeit only on standard or assisted difficulties. As to actually completing the run, well, I think I'll leave that as a challenge for you guys to take on. If you are looking for a fun, not too tough challenge, then this is a good one to try. On standard difficulty, you will definitely have ammo to spare for dealing with some of the regular enemies, so it shouldn't be too grueling. If you do take on the challenge, let me know how you get on. It would be great to know if there are any other tough sections that I didn't consider in this analysis.
Resident Evil 2 is a survival horror game that really wants resource management to be a key part of the experience, but I never quite got it. It loads you up with some awesome weapons, well suited to popping heads, dismembering limbs, burning and frying enemies, and more ammo than you could possibly spend in 2 complete playthroughs. And if you do run out of ammo, well, there are always grenades, and the master of all, the knife. So what happens if we strip all that back and pretend that poor Leon here has suffered from a horrific hand injury? An injury that leaves him unable to pull the pin on the grenade, to hold a knife, or to load new rounds into his weapon. What happens if we try to complete Resident Evil 2 without reloading a weapon?
Excellent!
I swallow my pride and go into this on assisted difficulty. It pains me, but I've got to give myself a chance. We go for the second run playthrough, meaning we start with a Matilda loaded with 5 rounds, and we get the second run exclusive M19 with 7 rounds almost from the start. It's not much, but those extra 7 rounds could be the difference between success and failure. Assisted difficulty is a wondrous thing, full of slow zombies that barely notice you and can be dodged with ease. Whole lines of them can be stacked up and slipped past without breaking a sweat. Yet, I had to remind myself, as per the words of Wayne Jude,
that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
For every masterful dodge, there was an instance of walking straight into a zombie. For every time we duked Mr. X, there was an instance of getting torn to pieces on a staircase. For every great success, there was an embarrassing death to a zombie that couldn't bite its way out of a paper bag.
Shameful.
Or worse still, injury due to underestimating Mr. X. Anyway, in the police station, we did a bit of resource gathering. Not ammo, of course, since we can't use it, but weapons and weapon parts. We grabbed the Matilda extended mag and muzzle brake, then the shotgun. The shotgun isn't of any immediate use to us, since it doesn't come with any ammo. But better to have it than not have it, I suppose. Perhaps we will be able to fashion it into a crude club if all else fails. Boop. We also grabbed the Lightning Hawk, and this thing will be helpful, since it comes loaded with 3 devastating rounds. With all that in hand, we head down to the secret room and then underground, immediately beelining for the Lightning Hawk long barrel, so that we can maximise the damage output from our 3 glorious rounds. So we go into the first fight with our big mutated mate Birkin, with a grand total of 15 bullets. Admittedly, 3 of those are Magnum rounds that can seriously ring his bell, but it's still not exactly a confidence-inspiring start. The plan is simple. Use fully focused head and eye shots to maximise our damage output and conserve our ammo. We start with our handguns in an effort to save our Magnum for later in the run. With pinpoint accuracy, helpfully made easy via some convenient aim assist, we are able to deliver shot after shot. Our handguns run dry, so we bring out the big gun and deliver a single devastating shot, allowing us to proceed with 2 rounds left. In the garage, we grab the Matilda stock upgrade. The dogs also clearly smell our fear.
Ooh, I love the smell of fear.
As we have to weave through them without any means of defending ourselves. I say weave, but once again, assisted difficulty somehow means that I take at least twice as many blows as normal. Back up in the police station, we go through the motions, gathering a series of key items that ultimately result in us getting the electronic part from the clock tower. Mr. X, in his assisted mode discount form and his concrete boots, gives us a bit of a laugh. This normally imposing figure isn't exactly threatening when he moves this slow. That is, until after we grab the garage pass and decide to tangle with him in the cell block. For some reason, I thought it would be a great idea just to run straight past him. He backs us into a cell, but a convenient hole in the wall allows us to escape. We dash through the streets of Raccoon City to the sewers via Kendo's gun shop, where we grab the shotgun long barrel. In the sewers, I realise I'd made a mistake in the G1 boss fight. We had used all of our handgun ammo. The upcoming croc escape sequence is going to require a bullet to blow its head off, and I'll be damned if I'm wasting a Magnum round. But this does allow me to reveal my secret weapon for this run. We get free ammo from attaching a couple of weapon upgrades. Specifically, 12 rounds for the Matilda from the extended mag, and 4 shotgun shells from the long barrel. We equip these, since this doesn't technically involve reloading our weapon.
You are technically correct. The best kind of correct.
And with fresh ammo, we behead the croc before heading on into the depths. Our trip through the sewers is fairly standard, with us mostly brute forcing our way through groups of zombies and mutants. We take a short detour up to the police station to grab the laser sight for the Lightning Hawk, since it will help us get focused shots with our last 2 Magnum rounds. Then proceed to grab the Rook plug. We make our way back through the sewers to grab the remaining plugs, and most importantly, a new weapon, the flamethrower.
This thing is going to bring the pain, and will be a fun change since we haven't been allowed to use it in any of our previous challenge runs. Next up, we have the fight of G2, which we complete without firing a shot as usual. As has been typical with this run though, we actually have a harder time than expected. The guy just moves so slowly that I struggle to lure him into the path of the swinging crate, and for some reason he brings out his insta-kill grab attack more often than usual. Ultimately, we do swat him like a fly though, allowing us to proceed into the hidden lab. The first section of the lab results in another awesome upgrade, the regulator valve for the flamethrower, which means we burn through our precious flamer fuel at a much lower rate. The rest of the lab is fairly smooth sailing, although we do have to spend a couple precious bullets to get past some ivies after grabbing the last access upgrade. We get kitted for another round of Birkin bashing, going in with 4 shotgun shells, 2 Magnum rounds, 9 pistol rounds, and 400 flamer fuel. We open with some eye popping using 3 of our 4 shotgun shells, resulting in him taking a knee. Another shotgun blast, and our 2 remaining Magnum rounds puts him down once again. We take a few bumps in our effort to be cautious, but it's nothing to worry about. From there, it's all about the controlled burn as we make use of our flamer. We focus on bursting just enough to set him on fire before backing off and let the flames wreak havoc. A few cycles later and he goes down remarkably easily.
That was easy.
As the lab collapses around us, we make our escape using the flamer to clear out a few of the remaining ivies. We then stare down the man mountain. We keep our distance and make use of the Matilda and some rubble to redirect his insta-kill attacks. When the rockets do spawn, we blow him away with ease. Then show some love to the Leon Kennedy fan club, and finally hop onto the train. Our final obstacle, G5, makes himself known as he rips the train carriage apart and stalks towards us doing his best creepy dude impression.
You are creepy as shit.
We wait a little while so that the damage multiplier against them starts to increase, and then go to work with the flamer and the Matilda, resulting in his swift defeat, and proof that you can complete Resident Evil 2 without reloading a weapon. But I wasn't happy with this. It was a whole victory, and far easier than I had expected it to be. Playing on assisted difficulty and using weapon upgrades to gain some extra ammo had taken away a lot of the challenge, and I wanted more. I needed more. So we started again, this time on standard difficulty, and committed to attempting this without using extra ammo upgrades.
Challenge accepted.
Our first obstacle was G1, and this time I had a different plan. The most important part of the plan was to sacrifice Leon a few times to help decrease our difficulty adjustment and swing the damage output in our favour a little bit.
We're going to take advantage of every edge we've got.
Instead of conserving Magnum ammo, I made use of the Lightning Hawk first, landing 3 clean headshots dealing devastating damage. With a little crit luck, I then followed up with a single handgun shot to finish the job. From there, we fast forward to a single shot spent on Killer Croc, and then onto the hidden lab, where we waste far too many handgun rounds in an attempt to get past some ivies. We also find another fair method for getting some bonus ammo. On this attempt, we didn't pick up the shotgun in the police station, which means it actually spawns in the lab, loaded with 4 free shells. Back with G3, we both open and close with the flamer. Through careful ammo conservation and reliance on damage over time, we are able to whittle G3 down. With him defeated, we leave with a decent supply of flamer fuel left over. Once again, we make it back to the Super Tyrant with a decent supply of ammo that we can use to divert his attacks, allowing us to survive and down him. And then we make it to G5 with enough ammo that we can blast him to pieces without any real trouble, proving conclusively that you can beat Resident Evil 2 without reloading a weapon. And yet, I still wasn't happy with this result. I had to know what could be done on hardcore. I had to know the upper bounds of this quite frankly ridiculous challenge idea. Now, being that I've completed a number of challenges already, I knew that this would be a whole different class of challenge,
compared to the standard run we just completed. I didn't like it, but I knew we would need the ammo provided by the weapon upgrades to make this even remotely possible. And you know what? If that's what it takes to get through hardcore without technically violating the rules, then I can live with that.
I can live with that.
And this requirement was made clear almost immediately when we came face to face with G1. Again, we used Magnum headshots and then unloaded our pistols into him using precise focus shots. But he wasn't even close without the ammo provided by the extended mag. So I loaded the magazine and tried a few more times. It was slow going, but after a bit of pain, we were able to down Birkin with a single bullet remaining. A single bullet that allowed us to defeat the Croc and make it to the sewers. Fast forwarding to the lab once again, and we are armed with the flamer and a shotgun with 8 shells, having loaded the long barrel. We spend 2 of these shells on some mandatory IVs, then square off against G3 one more time. Our first attempt involves unloading our shotgun, expending our flamer fuel, and then dying a horrible death as Birkin survives, relatively unscathed.
I'm unscathed, my darling.
But we have one tiny sliver of hope, one potential route through this pain. If we can pop his eyes using the 6 shotgun shells, then he will drop to the next damage threshold immediately, wiping off around 30% of his health before we even have to turn up the heat. So we do just that. We force him to his knees, then wait for him to stand up and screech before lighting the barbecue. We dodge and burn. We burn and dodge. We get smashed and dashed and smooshed. And then Birkin flies close to the sun, one time too many, resulting in scorched wings and defeat. Finally then, we come face to face with the Super Tyrant, with only a sliver of flamer fuel to see us through. And then we hit an impenetrable wall. We need some ammo to stop at least 2 of his insta-kill attacks, or we just can't get past them. That being said, I've heard tell of a fable where it is somehow possible to evade his insta-kill attack. A fable spoken about on the internet with seemingly no shred of evidence to back it up. A fable that resulted in death after death after death, and ultimately my defeat. And yet, I wasn't happy with this result. To have come so close and be stopped by the lack of a few rounds pained me. It pained me in a way I cannot describe. So we went through it all one more time, this time nailing G1 to almost perfection, saving a few extra pistol rounds. This time nailing our shots against G3, saving a shotgun shell. This time nailing the man mountain as he rushed towards us before blowing him clean in half. And this time firing 2 rockets clean into the eye of the crawling horror that is G5, slaying the train troll and unbelievably defeating Resident Evil 2 on hardcore without reloading a weapon. Well, that was something, I guess. It was certainly closer to the resource limited survival horror experience I was promised, and I'm not sure I can imagine a much more restrictive experience than that. When it comes to weapon loadouts in Resident Evil 2, I've always found Claire's to be particularly interesting. She comes loaded with more handguns than hands for zombie killing, a grenade launcher for dealing devastating damage, an SMG for tearing things to pieces, a spark shot for when she's in the mood for Kentucky Fried Liquor,
it's finger looking good,
and a Magnum upgrade for bringing even the most fearsome inmate to its knees. Yet, at first, I didn't get this weapon set. Most of the weapons felt too powerful for everyday use.
It's too much! It's too much!
And handgun ammo was plentiful, so I used handguns. And then I discovered the fun you can have with these weapons. And then I decided I was having too much fun, so I decided to take away all of that lovely ammo, to disregard grenades, and to ignore knives. I decided to ask the question, is it possible to beat Resident Evil 2 without reloading?
Excellent!
Having learned some lessons from our previous challenge, where we attempted the very same thing as Leon, we go into this on hardcore difficulty in the second run playthrough. We start the game with an SLS loaded with 3 rounds, and quickly retrieve the quick draw army loaded with another 5. Our foray into the RPD is met with unexpected difficulty as I seemingly forget how to dodge zombies, and in response get caught out time and time again. We dash through the gloom, grabbing all the key items we can carry, including the valve, detonator, and more importantly, the jeweled box. We remember how to dodge zombies, grab the red book, forget how to dodge zombies, and then head over to grab the scepter. With the gem in hand, we open the box to get the STARS badge, which we swiftly take to the STARS office to retrieve our prize, an SMG loaded with a whopping 20 rounds. With that and the battery in hand, we leave the room only to find that Claire has an aggressive stalker to deal with. Fortunately, he isn't great with doors, so evading him is easy enough.
Vault-Tec calling!
This allows us to go through the motions, performing explosive redecoration and grabbing the medallions before escaping through the secret passageway. From there, we head underground to grab the SMG silencer. The silent trait won't be a great deal of help, since we aren't likely to be shooting anything that isn't already trying to cave our skull in. But it does increase the SMG's damage output, so there is no way I was passing that up. With that equipped, we gather all our weapons and some healing for the boss ahead. Sherry tries to warn us of the dangers her dear daddy poses.
He's right behind you.
But she isn't quick enough, so we end up facing off against them. We start with the SLS, taking focused headshots for maximum damage and to stun lock Birkin. When that runs dry, we swap to the quick draw for focused single shots on the eye and head to maximise the pain. Finally, we swap to our SMG and go to work. By this point, Birkin is on the warpath, so making sure we get the most out of our ammo is tough. We need to wait until we can get to a weak spot with focused shots, and even then, keep the bursts as small as possible. We fire off all of our ammo, admittedly missing a few perfect shots, and then run dry with Birkin still standing. We sacrifice ourselves so we can respawn in a new clone body, and then try again and fail. We try again and fail. We try again and nail our shots this time, but Birkin is still upright. His eye colour doesn't exactly suggest we are close to downing him, and it certainly seems that this can't be done on hardcore. I double checked my research, looking for loopholes that could help us. Did we miss any weapons? No. We could get the grenade launcher, but it doesn't come loaded, so it won't help. Could we upgrade any of our weapons and get ammo in the process? Not until after we defeat this boss, unfortunately. Could we manipulate the amount of damage we are dealing by getting ourselves killed repeatedly? Well, not any more than we already have after our previous failed attempts.
This is hopeless!
Without any options left to us, a cheat. I wanted to know if crit luck could see us through, and to see how close we were to winning. So we go in armed with 2 hand grenades and grab another in the arena. We unload into Birkin, we blow him to heck with explosives, and despite all of it, he is still upright and angry. Okay, so this is a wash. This clearly can't be completed on hardcore, so we cut our losses and start again on standard difficulty. After another quick dash through the RPD, we come face to face with Birkin once again, armed with a hope, a prayer, and some firepower. The plan hasn't changed, so we simply unload into him before failing and dying. We repeat this over and over again, with the difficulty adjustment going down and our damage output going up as we die. With each attempt, we get closer and closer, yet not close enough. After a load of attempts, we have done everything we can, and it seems we can't take him down.
Welcome! Punch!
Well, that is until we consider the high critical modifier on all of our weapons. With just the right luck and a lot of persistence, we should be able to take him down. And we do. Sherry, being grateful, gives us an assist so we can escape the boss pit. Having her around could be helpful, but it could also be more than a bit dangerous for her, so we send her off with the babysitter. From there, we grab the JMB, another handgun loaded with 13 glorious bullets that I'm sure we will need later. We grab the diamond key, sneak past some liquors, and then make our way up to the RPD again. With the heart key in hand, we go grab the first electronic part, then trigger Claire's stalker again. After some sneaking and dodging, we are able to line up the library bookcases and head up to the clock tower to get the second electronic part. Unfortunately, it's at this point the babysitter calls to let us know that Sherry hasn't been behaving herself.
Hello?
I was told to look after her, but I failed. Miserably. I'm terribly sorry. I'd really like to be alone now.
Apparently she attacked him and stole his keys,
so we need to come pick her up immediately.
Took too long!
When we arrive to get her, our stalker appears once more. Even worse, Sherry's dad has found out what she has done to the babysitter and raises all kinds of hell, separating us from her once again. The sewers are relatively uneventful.
Now I'm gonna smell like shit, literally.
Other than the expected beating we take from everyone and their dog. With some persistence though, we are able to retrieve the Spark Shot, an awesomely powerful weapon that I'm anticipating doing a whole lot of work for us. With that in hand, we head through to deal with G2. He takes a few lumps out of us due to bad luck and carelessness, but with a bit of persistence, we are able to score a strike.
Straight down the middle. No hook, no spin, no fuss.
With that dealt with, we retrieve a sick Sherry who is in desperate need of cure, so we dash to the tram and through to the lab. In the lab, we find a nice safe spot where Sherry can suffer in silence while we get on with the challenge.
Here's to suffering in silence.
We also find that the grenade launcher we skipped earlier is here, and this time it's loaded with a solitary flame round. We dash through the dining hall, crawl through some ducts, and then through to the sleeping area to grab a serious prize, the high voltage condenser for the Spark Shot. This ups our damage output and decreases the time we need to hold the trigger for maximum damage. In the greenhouse, we do all the usual stuff required to get the chilled herbicide, then grab the last access upgrade, and then deviate a bit. I was really worried about ammo at this point, so I wanted to find a way to dodge the Ivies during our escape without spending a bullet. After grabbing the access upgrade, normally I would take the direct route and spend a few rounds. I instead brave the room with the zombies and lickers, taking blows that I can heal through. On the staircase there is an Ivy threatening to end us, but I have a moment of clarity. I realise that I can get past him by using the immunity window provided by getting chomped on by one of his mates. After avoiding the insta-kill and ducking past him, we are able to proceed through to grab the vaccine and prepare for the next boss fight.
Got it.
We kit up with every loaded weapon we have, our JMB with 13 rounds, our Spark Shot with 7 spikes, and a launcher with a single flame grenade, then head through to face our fate.
You don't know what you're up against.
I have a pretty damn good idea.
Now this one worried me. The Spark Shot would be devastating, but I doubted 7 fully charged shots would be enough on its own. I quickly formulated a plan. Use the JMB to pop his eyes so that he takes a knee and loses the first 30% of his health. From there, we just need to be very, very careful and use the Spark Shot to deal damage to the eyes and ultimately down him. It took a lot of attempts as I kept missing shots or getting interrupted, but in terms of having the gear required to down him, we weren't in any danger. We persist and ultimately wreck him, allowing us to escape and cure Sherry.
So Sherry's gonna be alright? She'll be weak for a little while, but yes.
With her feeling a little bit more sprightly, we run for our lives as the facility collapses around us. We encounter a locked door that Sherry offers to open.
Sherry, what are you?
I think I can open it from the other side.
As we wait, we have to hold off a couple more Ivies using a single flame round and a couple of handgun rounds. We make it to our escape route, the train platform. After a quick chin wag with Leon, we grab the minigun and face off against the next threat, G4. Now, if you've watched my other content, you might know that I don't have the best history with this guy, so simply shredding him with a minigun brings me untold joy. I steadily tear him to pieces by popping his eyes until his legs give way. I then get to watch this pitiful creature crawl about on all fours as I revel in the joy of downing him in a rational way. And from there, we simply have to finish the job. Birkin appears one last time, begins chomping the train and crawling towards us. We wait, and when we can't wait anymore, we bring the Spark Shot to bear once again, frying the son of a fridge.
One day, lad, all this will be yours.
What, the curtains?
No, not the curtains, lad.
Beating the challenge, and proving that Claire can indeed beat Resident Evil 2 without reloading a weapon. Just not on hardcore difficulty, but let's not let that detract from what was a fun, challenging run.
Why does everyone think I'm gonna get in trouble?
The zombies are coming.
What the?
The Resident Evil series often asks you to finely balance your fight or flight instinct. Do you waste precious supplies to secure a safe route forward, or do you rely upon your ability to evade and dupe the enemies? In this challenge, I decided to remove the flight part of the equation by attempting a runless run as Claire on Hardcore Scenario B. Let's jump straight in.
Excellent!
Even before we make it into the police station, we encounter our first obstacle. We need to power walk away from the first group of zombies after our chinwag with Leon, and that doesn't exactly go to plan. On the second attempt, we make use of a damage shield to improve our odds, but somehow don't need it. Precise pathing and a bit of luck allow us to bait some lunges and dupe past our foes with relative safety. We grab the revolver and the grenade, which gets put to work immediately as we blast a path through the next group of rotters, allowing us to head inside. Once inside, we have to rely upon filling nearly every foe that gets in our way with lead, especially when we are in tight quarters. Thankfully, spaces like the eastern offices still allow us a degree of positional freedom, as we are able to use the desks to keep our foes at a distance. In an attempt to grab some goods from this office, I also made a minor discovery. It turns out that this guy can break through into the hall. It's not a problem at all, but it somehow hasn't happened to me in all of my previous runs. I was surprised. In anticipation of future threats, we do some bloody work in the main hall by debilitating, delimbing, and otherwise dispatching Martin and the Moaners. On the west side, we go big game hunting.
Whoo! Danger, danger, danger.
Taking the liquor down with relative ease using a combat knife. We then follow that up by mowing down the locals. It's smooth enough, other than a surprise ankle biter. We clear out the threat at the top of the stairs, then head into the library, where we have a smooth time clearing our way out for later. An easy kill and 2 headshot crits later, and we are able to move on. Fast forwarding a bit, we grab a couple of medallions and the grenade launcher for later, before heading up to the STARS office to secure the SMG. As we leave, Mr. X spawns, and this is where things start to get a little bit spicy. Evading him for now goes smoothly enough as we give him the slip and stroll away. Evading him after blasting the attic barricade and grabbing the last medallion though isn't quite as easy. It turns out that on flat ground we are able to just about outwalk him, but minor pathing problems and stairs do allow him to catch up. We make it as far as the library exit before catching a massive blow in the back of the head. At this point, all we need to do is shake him off so we can open the escape route and get out of there, which simply won't be possible at a walking pace. Thankfully, flashbangs exist, which means our exit is secure. Well, maybe exit isn't the right word. Our route to another threat is secure. Next up, we have the G1 boss fight, and a secondary rule I decided to implement.
You gotta be kidding me.
No knives for bosses. Basically, knives trivialise the game's bosses, so I decided that it would be more fun and resource intensive to see if we could get through the boss fights without them. The fight itself is okay actually, not being nearly anywhere near as tough as I had feared. My major concern was around this having to be a damage race. We aren't going to be able to avoid his blows, so we just need to make sure we can take him down before running out of the healing we have with us. We do get grabbed early on, meaning we have to use a flashbang, but that's the only real threat we experience. We mostly rely upon opening up into his weak spots, with whatever small caliber weapons we happen to have loaded. This on its own can be quite effective, as it can stagger him or make him take a knee. The grenade launcher also sees some action as it dishes out big damage. Even better, if timed right, a point blank blast to the face just before he attacks does seem to buy us some space. A bit of luck in avoiding some blows doesn't hurt either. And with a few more blasts, we are done. After meeting and subsequently losing Sherry, we get back to escaping. Fortunately, getting through the garage is a simple enough affair. The liquors can be ignored and walked past, since I don't expect to have to deal with them later in the game. In the morgue, I attempt to deal with the zombie by the door, as I fully expect him to grab us on the way out. It turns into a bit of a slog though. This guy appears to have quite a lot of health. I also decide not to take any chances when it comes to his mate in the drawer. We rip into him with the knife and then finish him off before grabbing the diamond key. After outwalking the liquors, we take the lift back upstairs and get to work gathering the parts we need to escape the RPD once and for all. Our foray into the storage room doesn't go all that well unfortunately. Some poor backpedaling leads to a zombie getting a snack. and I get to discover that zombies can also break out of the storage room. He gets blasted, and then we grab the first electronic part. The liquor in the interview room also gets taught a lesson in proper barbecue technique. Apply an extremely high heat for a short period of time to sear the meat without overcooking the centre.
They call it a Swanson.
Outside, we secure a route to the water redirection lever, which allows us to put out the helicopter fire and proceed back into the rest of the RPD. Thankfully, Mr. X just doesn't come after us on the rooftop at this stage, which is an unexpected, welcome change. Back inside, we head into the records room, which almost immediately triggers X. Another flashbang allows us to escape past him and the liquor in the hallway though. Up in the library, we get the bookcases lined up as quickly as possible. As we escape, X bursts into the library, so we push on into the clock tower as quickly as possible. With the second electronic part in hand, we kneecap a zombie to secure an escape route, before completely failing to subdue his friend despite unloading into his legs. And then we have the sherry section, which kinda sucks at the best of times, and triply sucks this time. The first problem is that it somehow takes me in the region of 5 minutes to solve the block puzzle. I just completely went to pieces for absolutely no well discernible reason. The second is the fact that we technically failed the challenge. You simply can't escape the chief when he chases you without running. Ah well, I'm not going to dwell on it, since it's essentially a set piece. Let's just move on. We cut back to Claire being chased by Mr. X while leaving the garage, which isn't a whole lot of fun. We do skirt around the cars easily enough to get out of the garage, but then take 2 big blows to the back as we pick up a green herb and towards the top of the ramp. I thought I would be a goner for sure, as the screen kept flickering black, indicating Mr. X was just behind us. Thankfully though, when the zombies break through the fence, we are able to flashbang everyone and escape once more. The journey to the orphanage is mostly smooth, with us putting the dogs down with ease. In the bus, we put the approaching zombie on his back, but that isn't enough to stop him from nibbling our ankles. We stumble away though and down the last dog with our final few bullets. After shaking the chief off, we head to the basement where Mr. X begins his pursuit once more. And once more we take a smack in the back before we're able to escape. Thankfully, that's the last we will be seeing of him. The sewers are relatively simple at first, with us relying upon blasting and slicing everything that gets in our way. That quickly changes when we get to dealing with the first adult G though, as these things drain our ammo supplies fast. Upstairs, we wrangle a few zombies. The idea was to go for a double kill by lining them up and then using the Magnum, but that obviously didn't go to plan. Back up in the RPD, we secure the SMG extended mag and some secret spark shot ammo for later, before leaving for the final time. With the Rook plug in hand, we attempt to make our way past a G adult in an effort to secure some extra Magnum rounds, but it does not go to plan. This results in us being poisoned and having to retreat. Not to worry though, as we do come back shortly to pointlessly waste some of our supplies.
Why? I don't know. I don't know.
Down in the G-pit, we just have to obliterate everything that gets in our way. The Magnum is pretty good for both revealing and destroying the G-adult's weak spots, and we have some acid rounds going spare that help out a bit. In the next area, we secure the remaining plugs and the spark shot, which we then put to immediate good use as we secure a route back to the G2 boss fight. A boss fight that requires a little bit of thought. Getting past the initial onslaught from above goes surprisingly well, with his aim being more or less unaffected by us walking. Equally surprisingly, we are able to make it to the boss arena without being torn to pieces on the way. Somehow he doesn't manage to catch up with us, despite us casually sauntering along the catwalk. The fight itself is once again mostly a damage race, so we get to damaging. An initial frag grenade does a lot of work, and a few follow-up flame rounds take him to his knees, giving us the space we need to swing the cargo container out. We attempt to use the spark shot, but we don't really have the time, so instead swap back to flame rounds. We do then get grabbed, but once more a flashbang is able to get us clear. And then some fantastic luck. Another flame round puts him on his knees, which allows us to swing the crane back in. As it's approaching, we just manage to nail a fully charged spark shot blast, which likely puts Birkin over the health threshold required to go down in one container to the face. He falls into the pit. We rescue Sherry, and then we are on to the super secret underground Nest facility to offload Sherry and get back to work. And well, Nest isn't that much of a challenge when it comes down to it. We clear out the cafeteria without too much bother, then take care of the armoured dude in the next area. With an ID upgrade in hand, we proceed to grab the signal modulator and then head to the greenhouse area. In the greenhouses, we deal with the ivies that get in our way using the old 1-2 punch.
The old 1-2.
An acid round puts them on the ground, and then a flame round to make sure they stay on the ground. In the lower area, we make good use of our knives to deal with the zombies pretending to sleep, and then set about dealing with the two lickers. They are fine though. A flame grenade while they are on the floor is enough for a one-shot kill. We pop the first one, take a retaliatory slash, and then pop the second one. Easy peasy.
Lemon squeezy.
With the herbicide in hand, we clear the stairway with overwhelming force, and then head back upstairs. In the greenhouse, we grab the next security upgrade and then make use of the acid grenades to clear our path back to the central walkway. From there, it's on to our next challenge, the showdown with G3. Now this one actually manages to prove a little tougher than I expected, with us suffering a couple of defeats before we get the hang of things.
That's gotta hurt, Frank. Ouch-a-roo.
Our main tool for this fight is the grenade launcher, more specifically acid rounds, as they have a high chance of stunning Birkin. This is absolutely perfect for a point-blank blast when we get backed into a corner. The Magnum and the Spark Shot are also great tools for eye-popping. The Magnum can be used very quickly for some pretty significant damage. The Spark Shot is considerably tougher to use, as we often get interrupted before we can fully discharge a shot, but when it does land, it does a lot of good work. And when we have nothing better to do, we bring out the flame rounds to deliver a bit of damage over time. So anyway, we take a load of blows as we don't really have any method of avoiding most of them, but we keep on blasting Birkin until he enters the final phase. And this phase isn't really all that different, other than the level of aggression shown by Birkin. He loves to deliver big, prolonged chains of swiping attacks, so that you don't have any space to think. Not that it helps, as he goes down without any more hassle. We double back for Sherry, and then we come to a section that I was actually worried about, the escape sequence. I had no idea how long it would take to get through this at a walking pace, and I was worried that this would leave me short of time for the G4 boss fight. After blasting a load of ivies with our remaining grenade rounds, it became clear that I shouldn't have been worried though. We made it to the G4 fight with 6.5 minutes remaining, which feels more than ample. The minigun does a huge amount of work blasting the eyes, and then we make use of our excessive frag grenade supply to dish out the damage at an alarming rate. We take a load of blows, as you would expect, but in less than 2 minutes he enters his pre-death state. We keep blasting and he makes a final effort to take us out, but it's all in vain as he pops like the bloated pustule he is.
Well, that was disgusting.
And then, at last, we have G5, who, well, is going to go down without putting up any sort of a fight, let's be honest. So as that's happening, let's instead talk about this challenge a bit. As it turns out, this challenge was pretty easy. It was a lot of fun actually being able to kill pretty much everything for a change, but this run didn't quite scratch the itch I was hoping it would scratch. Upon reflection, I'm pretty sure we could have made this one a bit more, well, tense, with some pretty minor tweaks. I'm fairly sure Leon would have had a harder time due to Mr. X being more present throughout the game, and seemingly having fewer weapons well suited for staggering bosses. His escape sequence is also a little bit more time intensive, so possibly could have played out differently. There's also the question of scenario selection. Normally picking scenario B is a no-brainer, as it's just that little bit harder. For this challenge though, the gas station and the streets of Raccoon City could have been a genuine stumbling block. There's a load of enemies, and you don't really have any supplies to help create options. And then there's the question of secondary items. I already banned knives from boss fights, but realistically, using them on regular enemies saved a load of ammo, and stopped me from being under any significant resource pressure later in the game. Flashbangs trivialised Mr. X's pursuit, and their abundance of hand grenades made getting past G4 a non-issue. Perhaps we should just avoid using any of them. Hey, what's up? Wait, what? You want me to play Resident Evil 2 on hardcore difficulty with only a handgun and no escape items? That's crazy. Yeah, I know I've got some skills, but this is a whole new level. Limited ammo is going to be a huge problem. I'm up for it, but I'm going to have to be smart with my shots and make every bullet count. I'll show those zombies who's boss. Alright, time to get started. No turning back now. This is it. Hardcore difficulty, handgun only. Let's do it. We make our way through the gas station and encounter our first zombie. We start as we mean to continue by grabbing the keys and getting the hell out of there. After some dramatic scenes that I definitely didn't forget to record, we end up on the streets of Raccoon City, surrounded by the living dead. Time to run for it, I think. We break through the horde and make our way into the RPD. Inside the RPD, we immediately make a terrible decision and crawl under some shutters into the dark and terrifying eastern hallways. Smart move, Leon. At the end of the hall, we hear the banging of an officer trying to get through another shutter. We open it and try to pull him through, but let's just say that didn't go to plan and use our imagination to save me from having to censor the content. With the officer's notebook in hand, we put our dodging skills to work, evading the newly emerged zombies and make our way back to the entrance hallway. Boy, that was close. The trip through the western hallway was relatively uneventful, with us being able to evade approaching zombies easily enough. A pair of zombies did follow us into the safety deposit room while we were trying to gather some supplies, but we applied the old strategy of walking away from them slowly and managed to evade them. In the offices, we grabbed some supplies and the extended magazine for the handgun. But then things started to turn. Our attempt to evade the previous zombies didn't quite work out, and another one of them got himself into the mix. We tried walking away slowly again before dodging around them, but we got caught in our effort. Oh, first blood. In a panic, we even forgot to grab the side pack. Oh well, at least the zombies aren't in the hallway now. We book it to the safe room, restock our already low healing supplies, and head on upstairs. On the stairs, we encounter a zombie who we managed to lure over the banister. He's out of the way for now, but I'm sure we'll have to deal with him later. In the attic, a licker dashes past the window. Oh yeah, I forgot about them. They might be blind, but if we try to take them down with a pistol, we'll get ripped apart and be out of ammo very quickly. I think we better avoid them. After a quick trip through the library, we head down to the western hallways again to barricade some windows. Let's hope that keeps some of the zombies out later. Especially as we're inevitably going to have bigger fish to fry. As we head through the east side of the building, Leon somehow manages to guess the combination to the safe containing the Matilda muzzle brake. I have no idea how. He must be a psychic. Oh well, I'll take any advantage we can get at this point. After a helicopter crash that somehow does very little damage to the building, we head down the fire escape and grab the bolt cutters. We make our way through the offices as quickly as we can, grabbing the fuse and the pipe valve. This place is going to get real dangerous real fast, and I don't want to have to come back here. As we unblock the door to the hallway, we get grabbed from behind, going into a near-death state. Guess that's more of our precious healing gone. We dodge back into the office to create some space. It has become clear that we are starting to get overwhelmed. We make a valiant effort to dodge the horde, even firing our first few shots of the run, before we get taken down once more. We run to the exit and make it back to the main hall, barely escaping the zombies on our tail. But we did make it. At this point, our healing items are really starting to get dangerously thin on the ground, so we spend the next little while limping around. Poor Leon, I really do feel sorry for him at this point. Anyway, back through the western hallway, blowing the zombies' head off in the process. We grab the detonator that we'll need later and head back up the western staircase. We decide to finish the zombie we left behind earlier and his sleepy pal. We'll be back through this area quite a few times, so let's make it safe for ourselves. As we head through to the STARS office, we encounter our first licker. Jesus! Thankfully, this one is easy to evade, so we head into the office, grab a healing restock and a battery for our detonator. Oh so carefully we make our way back to the library, grabbing the unicorn medallion along the way. Back in the main hall, we grab the lion medallion and place them both into the statue. Our escape is so close, yet so far. Just one medallion to go. Up to the attic, below the gate, grab the medallion. Easy, right? Well, on our way out, a licker appears and a zombie decides that we're going to be dinner. We dodge and weave, making our way to the door. Before we can get there, a licker pounces on us from behind and begins to maul us. We shake him off and make a break for it, but there goes some more of our precious healing. Finally, we're able to use the last medallion to escape the RPD. Of course, I'm not exactly glad of this information, as I know what's about to happen. Oh look, a big scary monster. This must be a boss. I couldn't have predicted this, could I? Well, we head on in, armed with a trusty pistol and all the ammo we can carry. And without a healing item for some reason. We take a blow early. I guess this attempt could be over quite quickly. But we do manage to skirt around the arena, putting blows into Birkin. Eventually though, he catches us, and we go down. Second attempt, we learn from our mistakes and go in with a healing item. If we need it, then we need it, I guess. And we do, unsurprisingly. This attempt goes much more to plan though. We Benny Hill him around the room for a bit, taking shots whenever we can. Eventually he goes down, having only cost us around 70 or 80 bullets. We have plenty left for now, but if that's what it's going to take to get through a boss, then we could be in trouble if we don't keep conserving our ammo. I guess those bites we took earlier might have actually been worth it to save our ammo. We head up into the garage to finally get out of this blasted place, but Leon gets distracted by an attractive woman. I try to dissuade him, but he heads after her. Bit creepy. Once in the holding cells, Leon snaps back to reality, grabs the crank handle and realises he really needs to get back to work. We take the time to grab the stock upgrade for the Matilda. This takes up more inventory space, but it enables burst fire, which could be useful down the road. While not strictly necessary, we take a small detour to grab the diamond key, so that we can get the side pack in the safety deposit room later. We managed to avoid the zombies on the way out, but they saw where we went. That couldn't possibly come back to bite us later, could it? We turn the power back on, and brace against the oncoming zombie dogs. These guys are fast and hit hard, and they're hard to take down without wasting ammo. We kill off the ones we can't avoid, then proceed back to the RPD at breakneck speed. We definitely got a few chunks taken out of us there. Proceeding past the break room, we come face to face with a sizable group of zombies, and they have to go down. We head upstairs to grab the large cog for later, but one of the zombies in this room catches our scent. We do evade him easily enough though. Heading through the main hall, it's clear Marvin isn't feeling himself. Poor guy. But we can't spare the bullets to put him down. Sorry Marv. After playing keep away with the liquor in the west hallway, we grab the side pack. Ah, that sweet, sweet inventory space. Perhaps we won't need it, but better safe than sorry. Back over on the east side, we commit to triggering Mr. X. We head down the ladder, which Leon breaks with his fat ass, and make our way to the rear safe room. Carefully skirt our way past the zombies and inside to grab the club key. But one of them follows us in. Great. There's a small room with a zombie in it between us and freedom. We await the perfect moment and make a break for it, only to be grabbed. Thankfully, we shake him off though and head back outside to put out the helicopter fire. After making it look like dodging Mr. X is easy, we head on down to the interrogation rooms to grab some supplies. It seems Mr. X is pissed though, as he smashes through the wall just to give us a big old fright. We go cower in fear for a little bit. Having recovered from that fright, we make our way to the main hall. The plan is to wait until Mr. X is out of the way before heading through to grab the jack that will allow us to head to the clock tower. Thankfully, this doesn't take long, as Mr. X seems to have lost his peripheral vision and walks right past us. We sneak past the liquor and grab the jack before heading back down the hall towards the main hall. Surprise! Yeah, Mr. X is back and he pops Leon's head like a grape. Let's try again. On attempt 2, we head the other way and dodge past the zombie, make it to the end of the hall without the liquor attacking us. Boy, that was lucky. Back up in the library, we skillfully evade the zombies, line up the bookcases, and head on up to the top floor. I think we're on top of our zombie evading game at this point. Oh, god damn it! That never happened, guys. Just ignore it. Anyway, we break everything. Grab the electronic part and head on back downstairs. Of course, the zombies in the storage area don't want to let that happen. We get a little bit smart with our attempt at evading them. They take a chunk out of us, but we get through. After using our awesome dodging skills a little bit more, we get past a couple of zombies in the east hallway and head on down to the garage. Back in the garage, we take care of a couple of dogs that are blocking our way, wasting considerably more ammo than I would have liked. As I head towards the parking area, I'm starting to get stressed out. There are dogs through there, and I have neither the ammo nor healing to spare. Ah, to hell with it. They cut us off on one side, and it looks like the only way is through. We duck left, we duck right, we dance around the zombie dogs, and we're untouchable. We keep running, and we burst through the door. Oh my god. That was some luck. Or possibly skill, but definitely luck. We grab the garage pass and start making our break for freedom. Damn it! Damn it! We just can't catch a break, can we? Well, we push through. And with a little bit of help, Mr. X is taken down. At least we won't have to worry about him again, right? After making our way through Kendo's gun shop, and skipping, definitely the saddest scene in the entire game before it puts me off playing, we make our way down to the sewers. Well, this should be easy enough, right? What the hell was that? Guess we'll have to deal with that soon.
Leon, get out of there!
And yeah, I saw that coming. Guess we better run for it. Well, that's that dealt with then. Hold on, what do you mean I didn't use a handgun? Let's ask the judges. Okay, yeah, thanks. Yeah, no, I agree. Okay, verdict's in. Since the bullet was fired from the gun, That means we have still only used a handgun, so we're all good. Of course, if you disagree, feel free to let me know in the comments. I'm more than happy to defend the judge's decision. Anyway, after that shock, the screen fades to black. I don't know if I fell asleep or something, but Leon suddenly looks quite sexy in his form-fitting red dress. It's a bit strange. I'm not going to question it too much. Let's just get on with it. A few zombie kneecaps and a bit of evasion later, and we make our way through a broken fan grate with Mr. X hot on our heels. To top it off, someone decides to turn on the pizza oven while we're inside it, which is a bit unfortunate, I suppose. We do what we do best and break shit before getting out of there. It all fades to black again. Hold on, we aren't where I thought we would be, and Leon is looking a bit more like himself. That's good, I suppose. We make our way through the sewers, baiting and dodging zombies as we go. We then stare down the G-Mutant for a while before convincing them to let us walk past. Right, time to gather up all the bizarre chest piece electric plugs we need to proceed through this area. You know, zombies, they're plausible, right? Giant underground secret labs and sewers? Yeah, I can get behind that. But these electric plugs, nah, that's the limit of believability for me. Anyway, we proceed and take out a few zombies as we go, since they are in a high traffic area. We grab the storage room key, make our way past the G-Mutant, and back up to where the Rook piece lives. Unfortunately, this place is swamped with the living dead, and they take a few chomps in our direction. Still, we got some bullets and a large gunpowder, so not a complete waste of time. What we don't get though is the damned plug we came up for. Silly. Right, best head back up there. We very cautiously grab it and head back down to the safe room for a well-earned break. And now the bit I've been dreading more than any other, the trip down the hellish sewer section that takes us to the King and Queen plugs. I'm not going to lie, I simply do not have a solution for this section beyond shouting banzai, charging and hoping for the best. Which actually works surprisingly well, when it really shouldn't have. We got grabbed multiple times by G-Mutants, but all they did is poison us, before politely stepping to the side and letting us past. Of course, we didn't bring anything to heal the poison, but even that isn't a problem, as there's herbs in the next room. We grab the plugs and get the hell out of there. Getting back involves baiting the G-Mutants some more, but we have a much easier time this way. Right, on to solving the puzzle so we can take on the G2 boss. I definitely, obviously, got this right first time. So Birkin decides to start this fight by trying to smoke us out, and then crawling about in the ceiling trying to grab us. We outsmart him by walking in a circle. You've got to think he would have been better just taking us head on. So he tries that next, and we just ignore him and run past him. The actual fight is a relatively simple affair. Dodge blows, shoot him loads, make him take a knee, hit him with a crane, shoot him loads, get hit again, get grabbed, die? Oh, shit, that's the wrong footage. Yeah, I don't know where that footage came from. In reality, we just hit him with a crane and he fell off the edge. It's at this point I definitely think we should get back to the plan of getting out of Raccoon City, rather than getting sucked even further into this madness. Leon, though, the love-suck puppy that he is, obviously disagrees, and gets himself seduced. Well, I guess we're going to the nest after all. Inside the nest, we head first towards the cafeteria. It's been a long night, and Leon needs a snack before he can get back to work. Hello, what are you serving today? Ah shit, zombies. Well, I guess Leon isn't going to get a snack. This place is overrun. After some more awesome dodging, we head through the kitchen, pop a zombie that gets in our way, and upgrade our access clearance. In the greenhouse area, we quickly remembered that Leon has not mastered a skill that even cavemen had got down, the ability to create fire. These ivy zombies could be a problem, especially as a single grab means death without an escape item. Thankfully, we're reasonably good at hitting them where it hurts and dodging past them. Once again, Leon applies his psychic abilities to intuit the access codes to the mixing station and basement hatch. He's really missed his calling being a law enforcement, I think. We mix up some herbicide and head down to the basement. On our first attempt in this area, Leon decides to be all macho man. 2 lickers and a horde of zombies clearly aren't a threat to him, right? Obviously we can't take them all out at once. This does not go well. Let's try again. Next attempt, we spend some of our precious ammo to stop the dead from rising, and then spend a painstaking amount of time walking in circles away from lickers. Eventually, we caught on and began mauling Leon. We make a break for it to the stairwell, only just scraping by. That's another precious healing item gone. We grabbed the signal modulator, then took a detour to grab another side pack. Okay, time to brave those lickers once more so that we can get the power on. At first, one just decided to sit completely in our way, so I put a round into him. Now before you accuse me of animal cruelty, I'm sure it didn't hurt him. It's just like squishing a dog in the nose with water. It annoys them, but they're fine. With him out the way, we get the power back on. Go chill the herbicide and then head upstairs. We use the herbicide and go to grab the next access upgrade. Of course, some ivy zombies decided to spawn from thin air, and Mr. X took this opportunity to come for a visit, so we naturally made a break for it in a blind panic, shooting everything in our way. Somehow we made it. With full access to the nest, we head over to grab a sample of the G-Virus, you know, that highly destructive bio super weapon, and make our way through to the Doom Arena. Oh, shock. Birkin is back. Who could have expected that? Well, we have a handgun, 152 bullets, and a few healing items left, so this is going to be easy, right? Well, actually, yes. Yes, in fact. Of all the bosses so far, this was definitely the easiest. We got knocked about a bit, but we were able to lay into Birkin consistently and easily with the Matilda. I did start to worry a little bit towards the end when we started to get low on ammo, especially as I'd already grabbed some from the arena at this point, but it turns out I was worrying for nothing. Birkin goes down, we restock and head on out to the final stretch, with a good enough stock of supplies to see us through, I hope. It's at this point Leon realises he's been getting played all along.
Why couldn't you just hand over the sample?
His heart is broken. I mean, I get you're upset, Leon, but you didn't have to push her off the bridge, did you? Seems a bit extreme. Right, back to running for our lives, which lasts all of 1 minute before Mr. X decides to reappear in an effort to ruin our day. Doesn't this guy get that we just don't want to cuddle from him? Leon is far too heartbroken for that. We tried to shake him off, but he just won't take the hint. He seems to get the idea that taking his top off will help his cause, but Leon just doesn't look into this. And it's pretty sure Leon's Matilda disagrees too. So we dance about the bald beauty for a bit, desperately trying to break his heart with bullets before he gets hold of us. He makes a mad dash towards us at a few points, but we keep him off balance. Until a rocket launcher magically appears at our feet. At this point I was torn. A rocket launcher doesn't seem to be a handgun at first glance, and I really don't want to ruin this challenge. So I consulted with the judges, and they came back with what I consider to be a tough but fair ruling. If Leon can hold and fire the rocket launcher with one hand, then it's arguably a handgun. Brilliant! That certainly seems to be the case here, and I'm not moving the camera around to test the veracity of that claim. 2 rocket handgun rounds later, and Mr. X is a bloody puddle on the floor. I think he's probably got the message now at least. We ride the elevator down and deal with the final group of zombies using the Matilda, just to avoid risking the judge's ire. And then head on through to finish the game. So, can you beat Resident Evil 2 with only a handgun? Well, I think the evidence speaks for itself, doesn't it? Could a better job have been done? Well, I think the evidence speaks to that too. We clearly took far more blows than was really necessary. We also ended up with a decent excess of handgun rounds. We could have taken out a few more zombies at some points to decrease the risk. Good afternoon all, Specky Bandit here for another Resident Evil 2 challenge, where today we are going live, by which I mean you can see my ugly mug while I'm playing the game. Yeah, I didn't fancy doing a full edited piece for this video since we've played Resident Evil so many times, and this challenge is going to be a fairly standard one. We are attempting to beat the game using only the submachine gun. Yeah, it's a fairly standard single weapon challenge, which means, you know, there's only so much I can say about this game. I love it, but you know, I am not as funny as I like to think I am. So yeah, I probably will edit it a little bit. Avoid showing you all of the boring sections or the 40 times I get killed at the start here or whatever it ends up being. I'll get it first time, I promise. So yeah, I suspect this challenge is possible. Amongst all the single weapon challenges, the submachine gun feels one of the more doable. Generally with the single weapon challenges, you've got to be careful of, there's certain bosses that can make it incredibly difficult. So for example, the grenade launcher only challenge is one that you might think, oh, that should be straightforward enough. But, oh, that was, well, I made it past them at least. Yeah, the grenade launcher is one that you would think should be easy enough, but it's actually almost impossible. The real reason being, well, maybe we can use those iframes to get past. Yeah, that's okay. I'll happily take that blow. I'm slightly surprised it didn't get taken down to red though. That's unusual. What was I saying? Yeah, submachine gun should be okay. Like, for example, the grenade launcher challenge, when you get to G4 on the train platform, that is almost impossible. The only way he takes damage is via impact. So as in, you have to pop his eyes, but the splash damage from the grenade launcher doesn't do any eye popping, which isn't very useful when you've only got like 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 grenades. I can't remember actually how many it is at this point. So it's very much you have to nail every shot and have the best luck in the world to even get it done. The submachine gun, on the other hand, is, you know, great at popping eyes, as you can imagine. And it turns out that if you're really, really persistent, you can do crazy challenges. Right, he's up there, so we can get in here okay. Now what's in here that I need? I'm pretty sure there's some save ribbon. So we'll grab that. Where's the dude? The dude's on that side of the desk, so let's lure him over towards us a little bit more. Okay, and then grab this, we'll need that for later, and some more white powder. Pretty sure that's everything we need in here right now. I haven't planned out, you would think, being that I've played this game about 20 times or so at this point, I would have a good idea of where things are. Yeah, that's simply not the case. Right, liquor time. Take it easy, nice and slow. Don't get chewed up by the liquor. Hello? Let's board this up. We don't really need to board these windows up as clear, since we've got no reason to come back down this corridor. So, I probably won't. Shh, be quiet, be quiet. Yeah, there's actually a decent chance of me getting a few frights here as well. I genuinely cannot remember half of this at this moment in time. It's been about 2 months since I played. Yeah, I've been on Resident Evil 4 Remake for a little bit, and one of my more recent challenges was Resident Evil 7, which was fun. I've played this game so many times that I don't really care to find all the notes every single time to look up the things. I just want to do a challenge. Are you going to burst through? No, we can get past him. That's fine. I don't think we need to go into the safe day deposit room at any point. We will be boarding that one up, so I'll grab that. Right, let's think about this. So, just use the first aid spray bags. Because I'm not... Well, I guess just going to have to hope that healing isn't going to be a problem.
Little did he know, it would in fact be a problem.
Jesus. This is, for me, one of the hardest sections of the game. Not necessarily on this particular pass, but just generally getting past this staircase, this corridor. I always get mobbed. My dodging skills just aren't, you know, that level of good. Let's do this just now. I always come back here later because I'd rather not activate Mr. X quite so early. Right, can you go over the banister? Yes. Can you? No. Oh yes, perfect. One more. DCM, I believe, and I'm pretty sure this has submachine gun ammo. And I just hit my mic. Oh yes, 100 rounds. We've only made 2 mistakes so far. Getting caught at the start and wasting a first aid spray. Right, so the trick for this bit is trying to avoid activating as many guys as possible. So there's 3 enemies in this room. There's the woman zombie who just wanders about all the time. She's always active. Nothing you can do about that. There's a guy lying down there who I think if you pass by in a certain way, he activates. So I like to try and avoid that. And there's another guy eating a corpse who, as long as you avoid the ladder, he won't activate either. Something like that. Yeah, I love a little bit of memory work sometimes. Right, so yeah, she's the one that's active right now. So she's spotted us. I don't want to go down that way because I'm pretty sure that's how you activate the second guy. But what I do want to do is skirt her for the moment. I'm saying we can avoid that guy just so I can prep this a little bit now, so it's a little bit easier later when we're getting chased. We need the book because we want the jewel to get the stars badge to get the submachine gun. See if I can remember this one. So, crown. It's definitely crown. Fire. Bird. Crown, fire, bird. Easy. I like to drop off a couple of medallions at this point if I've got the chance. We'll use the key here. And then we'll skirt this way. And hope to lead these guys out the way. I'm pretty sure I heard a door rattling a second ago as well, which suggests that a zombie from the library, the female zombies, probably followed us out. Which is not actually necessarily a bad thing. This room at least has a little bit of space. Screech, okay? Yeah, this room at least has a little bit of space for you to get around, guys. So there's worse places for the zombies to cluster. This one, for some reason, I never quite get the hang of dealing with her. It shouldn't make the slightest difference because they're all the exact same, but oh, jeez, that was close. But some nice dodging. Okay, I'm going to have to hope they reset on the way back, or otherwise I am not going to be happy. Happy specking. Right, let's fit the one-armed bandit. Get this and walk for our dear lives. Yep, walk for your life. Walk for your life. Oh my goodness. I never don't get ganked there. No, this is where I tend to get uber ganked. Ah, goodness. Right, this is going to be a problem. Can we lure them in here? I can't even remember. Getting past... Motherfucker. I'm not normally much of a swearer either. Right, we'll use the damage shield because I'm about to go into some sections where I expect to get fairly ganked anyway, so I might as well at least have something to force my way through it. Sneaky zombie. Sneaky goddamn zombies. Whew, that shook me up a bit. Yep. That's unfortunate. Oh, goodness. Sometimes you've just got to try it and walk right past them, as it turns out. Mother fudger. See, this is the bit you don't always see when I'm doing the challenge videos. I get ganked a lot. I am not very good at this. Another red herb, lovely. Pretty sure there is some more white powder. First aid spray, nice. And let's not forget to take the STARS badge back, because that is something I do a lot. One submachine gun. Oh, yeah. It's all mighty.
A brick house.
Still not going to fire it though. I have no intention of using it until at least G1. I'm feeling a little bit low on resources. Yeah. Big sexy exy. Let's not tease him for a change. Oh, no. I'm never completely clear on how much running actually affects his ability to find you, but I do try not to do it when it's too close. Oh, she's always there. Alright, that's fine. Sometimes you just take the blow and deal with it. The alternative is to lure her down the stairs, or if you get your timing right, you can sometimes just slip right past her. But, oh, fuck off. Fudge. Sorry, too much swearing again. I'm not used to Mr. X ever being here. Oh, he went away? He was in the room with me there, but he went away for some reason. There we go. My plan is to try and slip right past this guy. Right, is he coming back? She's coming though. I just need to make a decision, because there's still the bit I can fall down over there. I like to try and save that though, if at all possible. It's a good escape route. So I sort of don't want to take any blows at this point. I think we're home and clear to the first boss fight at this point, which is nice. That doesn't... I thought I'd forgot to pick up the medallion there for a second. I was so worried. I get freaked out by this. That was not as clean as I would like. Now the silencer is interesting, it's well worth picking up. It on the surface doesn't seem particularly useful, because all it does is, you know, silence your submachine gun, which is only really useful if you're taking on lickers or don't want other lickers to find you. I mean, it can stop Mr. X from triggering a little bit, but it's actually, excuse me, the secret effect that matters, which is it increases your damage output by about 20%, I think. And that's strange. They do increase bullet drop off though, or decrease bullet velocity, one of the two, which I suppose they're probably the same thing. If there's lower velocity, then there's more drop off. Either way, they impact with a little bit less impact. Jesus, wording. So yes, okay, what mechanics do we have to care about for this? Well, Birkin is generally alright. You just have to keep your distance from him. His head and the eye on his arm are his weak spots, as you would guess. They're equally weak, as isn't always obvious. Most people think the eye is weaker than the head. It is not for this fight. We want to, where possible, do small control bursts on the basis that they do slightly more damage. Like, this is how we get our value for our bullets. Oh. Yeah, focus shots do more damage. Oh. Left that too long. Yeah, focus shots do more damage, even with the submachine gun. So, in the interest of conserving our ammo long term, I generally want to try and do focus shots. Headshots on some weapons can stagger them, but it looks like the submachine gun damage output might not be high enough to cause a stagger, at least from one burst. Yeah, we're not getting all headshots, we're not getting all high damage shots. It's quite hard with this type of weapon, but he is taking damage. You can sort of, his eye colour is, you know. You also notice I'm a compulsive reloader. Right, now we've got a chance for a shot, hopefully. I'm wasting too much ammo here. Thankfully, I really don't expect this to be the sort of run where we're going to be too short on ammo. Yeah, there we go. He's down. Right, job's a good one. Moving on. How much did we use? We used about half our ammo. That's not bad. That's not bad. Right, what do we need? I cannot remember what's where. I think that's some film reel and a red herb. The red herb's nice, but I'm not sure it's worth going through the 2 guys to get. So I very rarely pick it up when I'm doing a challenge run. I mean, if I'm not doing a challenge run, then the lickers get it, and everyone gets killed, and job's a good one, and I love it. There's another mod, actually, that I'd like to try out, so I don't know how good it is, but there's actually a nightmare difficulty mod that's been released to 1.0 or 1.1 or whatever the actual release version is very recently. Say start of September, I think it was. And that doesn't just increase the difficulty in terms of enemies doing more damage and whatever. It actually makes it so that there's new enemy spawns, and I would like this game to be tougher. I really would. But often when people make it tougher, it ends up being ridiculous, as in over the top tough. I like a real challenge, but I'm not a masochist. I like to explore the boundaries of the games. The Resident Evil 3 remake, Inferno, I don't think Inferno's that bad, with the notable exception of the final Nemesis fight, which is just absolute dog stroppings, because he's so fast and you have to have perfect dodging. It took me a long time to beat him, as in the first time I think I spent about 4 hours, and I eventually had to resort to using the book that allows you to dodge better. Is that a way of putting it? Yeah, the better dodge window book. I can't remember what it's called, skill book or whatever. And then it took me so many attempts after that to do it legitimately. That isn't, to me, fair challenge. That's unnecessary difficulty. That's just masochism. And I don't enjoy masochism. But the rest of Inferno I enjoyed. Lots of enemies, use your resources, you know, that sort of thing. So anyway, going back to, there's a mod for this, a nightmare mod, and it looks to me like it adds a lot of enemies, but maybe too many, maybe just difficulty for the sake of difficulty, but I'd still like to try it. Right, we'll go pick up the heart key, and then I probably need to pause and think for a second. I'm pretty sure there's some more gunpowder we can get downstairs. There was also a save item there, I'm pretty sure, that I just walked right past. Oblivious. Talking of challenges, the next challenge I'm working on, spoiler, I think I've already announced it in the community tab at this point, but spoiler, is I am attempting Resident Evil 4 Remake on professional mode using only shotguns. New game challenge. So as in no sort of boosted shotguns to start with, no free upgrades. I am currently, at the time of recording this, at the cabin fight. Which, yeah, you can probably imagine how that goes. I'm not going to spoil it. Because why? How can I spoil it? I've not managed to do it yet. You know, it's tough. But yeah, the challenge is proven pretty tough. The shotgun's brilliant, obviously. It's so powerful. Well, any of the shotguns are so powerful. But ammo is just non-existent. You can take advantage of the game systems, If you don't have ammo of a certain type, then it'll spawn more often. If you do have ammo of a certain type, then it'll spawn less often, that type of thing. So you can manipulate it to get more shotgun shells, but I still just don't have any. This bit, for some reason, always gets me. Not my best room. I don't know why. So it's a fun challenge. I don't know how it's going to go. My sort of feeling is that it's probably possible, but you might need to be considerably better than me. And it will be interesting to see. So what one of the totally misjudged that. Oh well. One of the other fun things about this challenge for me, the Resident Evil 4 Shotgun Only one, is that I've never actually... You son of a... Getting annoyed with myself now. That was... Oh. I think I'm talking too much at the moment. I'm just wasting healing items on these enemies. 3 hits! Right. That was diabolical. That was truly, truly diabolical. Oh. Spooky, what are you doing? Right, so let's deal with Mr. Sexy. Mr. Sexy. Well, you know, I like to be thrown about a bit. I was thinking about something there. It might not interest many of you, but there's a... If you've never heard of them, there's a sort of channel called Viva La Dirt League. They do comedy sketches. And one of the other things they do is, like, live D&D. Now, I've never really been a D&D person, but the way they do it's great. They don't take it too seriously. They have lots of fun. There's lots of fun stories, and they can be quite creative. And they're a comedy troupe in the first place. And yeah, it was just a bit of a reference to one of their episodes. Hey, come on, big man. I hear your boots. I hear your footsteps. I think he's just got bored and gone away. That's a weird one. It's happened to me a few times now, but it never happened to me before on my first like 5 playthroughs. So I don't know if it was just not possible at one point in time, or maybe something patched in that made them a little bit less perceptive. I don't know. But Mr. X is nearby. Oh Jesus. Oh, this is a clusterfuck. Right, I'm just gonna have to go for it. That was not what I was hoping for, in case you hadn't guessed. Right. This bit is normally where I get chewed up. Well, that was better than usual. Normally I walk through that door, get grabbed by a zombie, and then have to run away from my liquor. It feels like the game might be giving me a slightly better chance at the moment after that series of absolute fudge-ups. Right, let's let Mr. X come for me this time. Yeah, this isn't too bad. Come on. As long as we can get out of here. Right, okay, that was good, that was good, that was good, that was good. Now up to the library. He's right behind me though. Okay, we're okay. There's a guy on the right there, but he's somewhat oblivious to us at the moment. No one in our way. That was not bad. He's up this time. She sounds nearby. Nope, she's okay. We're okay, we're okay. Right, let's get this into place and then get out of here. Get in turns. This is always my least favourite bit of the RPD. Not least favourite as in I don't like it, but just least favourite as intense. It's one of the great things about Mr. X. It's no matter how well you know this game, and I, you know, naturally know this game, he just always shits me the fuck up. Normally I always forget to pick up that cog, but not today. How are we doing time wise? 45 minutes is... It's not bad. I can't remember the sort of times for a good S plus grade in terms of like sort of estimated times for where you should be when. I think getting to G1 within half an hour was a good time. I think getting to there's Mr. X as well. Yeah, let's just give this a minute. Let's just have a little drink of water. I'm just gonna smash the zombie in the head. I hate this bit. I always get grabbed here. Oh, I didn't that time though. I normally always get grabbed there. Totally. I shouldn't have doubled back there. I sort of went for it, then changed my mind. Mr. X is behind us. This room here always gets me as well. I'm just terrible at it. I don't know why. Yep. Another heal. Just take the edge off. Yeah, I think what happens is there's always seems to be the guy coming from in front of you. Oh, he's right behind me. And then a guy comes from the right and you just get boxed in. I've tried luring them out. I've tried doing all sorts of things. But, yeah, I just don't have the patience to figure it out, to be honest with you. No patience, no skill.
Where's that?
Yeah. Go away. I like Chief Irons. He's a good character. In terms of, like, he is a well-designed lunatic. Still never understand why you actually need scissors for this bit. I mean, even if that is like duct tape. Surprise! Oh, yep, you've actually got to run away.
You are gonna be so fucking sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I really wish that this was optionally skippable. It is quite inspired. It's a fun section. It's well designed, but it's just so hard to care about after multiple passes. I'm never clear if running actually matters here, so I'm going to test it. Oh, run. Let's skip this. No, can't skip this. Another one of those weird unskippable cutscenes.
Here's Johnny!
We are back.
Just you wait, asshole.
Just you wait, asshole. If I had to do that bit again, I would scream. And I would get on with it because that's the life I choose to live. So now we are head to the orphanage, dodge some doggies. Sewers are a pain. They're an absolute pain. There's the hallway of doom, as I'm calling it, the sort of area on the way to the spark shot. I've kind of got a knack for it now, more or less, in that what you can do is just power through the poison, but I still don't like it. It can go wrong. Even if done right, it can go wrong. There's also a few other bits in the sewers where you just will get ganked, or I will get ganked because I'm not, using a gun. Yeah, both of them are out. Cool, we can progress. I'm never quite clear at what point he stops following you here. Is it as soon as you go through the gate?
Looks like the only way forward.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, the zombies still come this way though. Right, dogs. Run diagonally. Oh. That's why we have herbs. It is possible to avoid them. Like, running diagonally tends to be the way, but must not have been run diagonally enough. More bullets, lovely. Yeah, so what have we got? We must have about 150, maybe pushing 200 rounds at the moment. Plus, we've got gunpowder. I can't remember what the mix looks like. Oh, this guy annoys me. Yeah, we got him first try, that's good. Normally he ganks me. Oh. Fudge Sundays.
It's gotta be the orphanage.
Oh, that was a few good dodges there, but still a few more blows than I would have liked. Hi, Chief. Bye, Chief. Did you see his eyes move there? That was creepy. Oh, yep. Dead bodies. What are you going to do? Just keep running. Just keep running. Yeah, Sherry, you stop him. Go! You hold him off. I'll make a break for it.
Oh, glorious conqueror. Permit me to offer up a sacrifice.
I'm the protagonist. I always find that line funny because I don't think I've ever once been behind her. Like, I think the intention is for you to stop at the gate and talk to her, and then Mr. X gets behind you and you don't catch up with her. But I've never felt the need to do that. So what have we got now? The sewers are where I start getting a little bit confused, to be honest with you, in terms of forgetting what character has what and what items are where. Is that white gunpowder? Yes, it is. So yeah, there's a few items where they're not directly replaceable. As in, what I mean by that is, if Leon has shotgun shells in a location, then I expect there to be flame grenades in that same location. They're the equivalent weaponry. But there's a few that aren't like that, so I forget what's where. Right, this room's going to be a pain. It's not a terribly tough room. Like, we'll probably take a blow, but I do need to get in here because there's ammo. So I'm probably going to take a bump on the way back. Oh, that was unbelievably close. I was anticipating getting grabbed there.
Hold on, Sherry. I'll be right back.
This is the bit where I'm probably anticipating the most problems. So I've got to either head back up to the police station, should I choose to do so, which is actually a bit of a question I need to have with myself. Or I've got to go down to where the spark shot is, which is equally difficult. Going back to the police station is an interesting thought, so let's talk about that for a second. So if you head back to the police station, you can get some bonus spark shot ammo, which naturally is of no use to me. And you can get an upgrade for the SMG, specifically the extended magazine. Now that means you get a few extra bullets, which is naturally very good. So I was just being very careful there, don't need to get in that safe. Yeah, it's naturally quite good to have some extra bullets. However, I think it might cost more resources to get than not. Getting past these guys is a nightmare without firing the shot. What you can do is you can lead them up and then use the door to run past them. It's hard though. So yeah, there we go. That was actually quite timed quite well. We might as well go deal with the sort of pit first. It's not my favourite route, but what are you going to do? So the plan here is quite simple. We are just going to absolutely body into them and hope for the best. But first, we're going to drop one of these to give us a damage shield. Yep, that's what I expected to happen. Damage shield and anti-poison shield. Still take damage though. Which actually, I didn't know you took damage. I know that sounds silly, but I honestly thought you might not. Oh, that was silly. Yeah. That was kind of the way I expected that to go. I didn't want to get grabbed by that guy. That was a disappointment. I could have really done without that. If you're sensible, and I wasn't there because I panicked, you can lure one of the guys into, or both of the guys into that cage and then just leave them there. How am I going to deal with this? I'd like him not to be in there. Oh. Yeah, I think we're alright. I just need to make a break for it. Right, come on then. Up you come. Yep, wait for you. Lovely. So there's normally a guy who's about to pop up right in front of me and grab me. Not today though, that's nice, that makes a change. Normally I get grabbed there, and then I make it to this section, and then there's another guy who's going to try and grab me, which I'm just going to take. I don't normally take that. Oh no, oh yeah, okay, fair enough. Whew. Was worried I couldn't get past him there. I don't normally take that one on the chin. I normally use the platform, you can sort of jump back and forward, up and down it, but I'm honestly, I'm getting a bit shook up. I'm sort of struggling a bit. Mentally. I am not feeling it. Oh, that was unfortunate. Good thing I still had the damage shield though. Not a good dodge. Not a good dodge at all. Come on. Come on. Was a bit worried there for a second as well. Are we going back for the submachine gun upgrade? I just don't know. I just don't know. I'd like to. I just don't know if it's worth it though. But first of all, I am almost certain that room... Oh, Billy Bollocks could have been better. This is taking a turn again. This is taking a turn again. I'm just going up here now because that was the best escape route, regardless of whether or not I'm going to get the upgrade. My instinct is that I'm not getting the upgrade, to be completely candid. I'm feeling a bit shook up. Tell you what, we'll give it one try. One try only.
What could possibly go wrong?
Oh. I was really hoping to sneak past that. Sometimes you can just sort of like corner block them. If I can get through this with one heal, then it might be worth it. Right, okay, that's the hiding place, so we know where that is. Right, you go down there. You go down there. Okay, so a lot of this is going to depend upon who's in the staircase. If I get blocked here, I could be in trouble. I mean, there's often this guy sneaking there. Right, that's good, that's good, that's what we needed. Secret hiding place. You also notice that there's a film reel in there with some illicit images on them, if you're interested. They're not actually that illicit, but they are a bit creepy. Not creepy. They're innocent. It's an innocent enough image, but taken in context, it's a bit creepy. That's probably the best way to put this. So yeah, we got the extended magazine for the submachine gun. So that'll give us like, I think it's 50 bullets in a clip. For one, it's like 24 to 26 free rounds, which is nice. And for two, it means we're obviously can deal more damage without reloading. That last bit's less interesting for me as an obsessive reloader. Oh, right, no. Right, we're going this way then. I wasn't wanting to go this way, but I was about to get bodied if I went the other way. Oh, Jesus, I forgot about that guy. Oh, maybe I'm not going that way either. I'm going to get bodied here. Too indecisive by half. Let's just go slow. Oh, fucking hell. I'm not getting any of the luck today when it comes to these sneaks. Like, generally you find if you get to just the shoulder, you can force them into a lunge. Right, you're my next problem. Right. Okay, don't fancy dealing with those guys. And now about to attempt G2, who can be a bit of a pain in the arse. The trick is to not use any bullets, so what we really need to do is essentially bait them into the crane without getting caught ourselves. And because this is hardcore, we have to do it 3 times. And even more annoying, if we fail, we have to do this bit over and over again. Screw you, Big Claw. Thankfully, when Claire's a little bit damaged, I think she actually moves slightly faster than normal. Unlike Leon, who gets slower. I don't know if we're in orange at the moment. That might only apply to yellow. The biggest problem is just if he grabs you. If he grabs you, it's an insta-kill. Everything else is kinda... you can work around it to some degree. Of course, if we had some escape items... oh. If we had some escape items, this would be so much easier. Right, so that's it in position. Now we essentially just need to create enough space to allow us to hit the switch without ganking us. Oh, well, the ganking came regardless. And we got the heal off, that's thankful. You have got to be kidding me. Right. Right, this is definitely going to be a retry. I've just used 2 heals. And that's it. And we're caught and gone. Boom. Yay! Get our timing right here. Nope, that's us dead again. If he hits you there, it's... yep. Right, let's at the very least try and avoid this first blow. Jesus heck. Can you just stop? Can you just? Can we just have a moment's peace? Well. Okay, we have an opportunity to hit the switch. That is a start. Now, we just need to create an opportunity to lure him. Okay. Oh. That was the perfect opportunity. Right, okay, we've got him once. Accidentally got him once more than anything else. I didn't expect to be able to dodge him there, but we did. Oh. Well, we got 1 hit in. Can you just stop it? Don't even make it to the fight this time without having to heal. Great. That is the signs of a perfect run about to happen. But that is kind of what we need to be able to do. As in, that. You need to duck past his small arm. Oh, come on. Yes. And we got the dodge. Yes. Okay, so that's 2 hits. I might have got away with this. I think we've got away with it. I think we've... yes! Oh, that was so frustrating. Screw you, Billy Birkin. Gonna rip off your head and spit down your throat. We have got a sherry, and we are still alive. Oh my goodness, oh my golly. Incredibly impressed by content creators who do like no damage challenge runs, and I cannot understand the level of skill required to be able to achieve some of these things. Might have to try a no damage run for this at some point. I mean, it'd have to be like an all weapons allowed type of thing, just for the fun of it. With the right practice, a knife only no damage run might be possible. Well, I mean, it's definitely possible by some people, but it might be possible by me as well.
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
Gotta get through it. Gotta get through it. Right, lure him towards us. Touch. That's needle cartridges. I couldn't remember if that was needles or submachine gun rounds. GM crops. Nothing against GM crops, to be clear. I mean, genetically modified is fine. There's nothing wrong with genetically modifying things. That's just science. And I am something of a scientist myself.
You know, I'm something of a scientist myself.
He might actually be trapped in there. That was close though. Right, why am I here again? Wristband. Yeah, I think we're coming to the end of Resident Evil 2 challenges. I can't think of many more that are worth doing. And as I think I've mentioned before, at this stage, I'm sort of running out of things to say about the game. It's getting a little bit dull for me to try and create a productionized video every time. Hence why I'm doing this. It's nice to do this for a change, to be honest with you. But yeah, I've got one more idea, which I might as well mention because I'm not definitely going to do it. But if I do, I've got one more idea for a productionized video, which is to only use crafted ammo, like ammo that has been crafted, and maybe do a head-to-head, because I don't think the result will be the same for both characters. If there's any others you would like to see, let me know. I know there's obviously some other challenges, like say knife only, and I don't think I've done a handgun only for Claire, and I'm sure there's others I can't think of at this particular moment in time. I'm still happy to play the game, but it is genuinely one of my favourite games. I love the atmosphere. It's, from a challenge runner's perspective, the length of the game is perfect. Took me about 10 playthroughs to notice this. The symbols are just the inverse of the number itself. So 2, 10, 4, 8. So like that is the one I'm hovering over just now. The 8 is just the negative part of the 8. That's the negative part of the 1. That's the negative part of the 3. I thought it was really cool. You would think because I've done it about 20 times I should know the answer to this. But I don't. But I still get it wrong every single time. And then it's just all about putting it back together. Oh, that was a record for me. This guy is normally a pain in the arse, but he's okay today actually. Excuse me, come on. It just sounds like a sound of discontent.
Should have packed my parka.
Oh, great one-liner, thank you. Right, so now we need to think about this. Now things tend to go a bit wrong for me. There's the Ivy on the stairs up here, who's not too bad if you're actually shooting at him, which I very rarely am, but I'm going to this time. But Ivies are always just, oh, we're going to have to go again. That was a bit annoying, that. Having that guy land on top of me. Could have done without that. I think we can get out here in time. Yep. Yes, that was about as smooth as it could ever be. Just use the bullets. That's more ammo than I want to be spending. That's much more ammo than I want to be spending. Yeah, I've just got to remember that there's actually, on Claire's campaign, there's one more guy than in Leon's, because Leon gets Mr. X chasing him.
So much for the weed infestation.
As in, it depends how quickly some of these guys get up. Like, that guy could kill me. No, I think we're sort of okay, actually. There's a guy in here, which is... Wow. That was a bit...
Seriously?
Whoa. That was, distinctly better than I hoped. A couple of wastes of ammo, but nothing too bad there. This fight isn't terribly difficult, but it can go sideways a little bit at times. And I find myself wasting ammo on it more often than I'd like. Yep. So let's do this. I'm thinking... Oh, hit my mic again. I'm thinking with the right luck here. The right... Not maybe luck. The right skill. By being really skilled, obviously that's something I'm capable of doing.
Skills.
We can maybe get through this with about 400 bullets, which
which would be awesome. So yes, what we're trying to do here, I mean, it should be obvious, but eyes are good. The main reason for the eyes, popping the eyes, is actually a little bit not obvious. I've spoken about it in a few of my other videos, but when that happens, when he goes down, he actually takes a sort of static chunk of damage. It's not quite static, actually. It's he starts on 15,000 health, and each eye has a sub hitbox. Takes some damage, does some damage to him. So say you take the eyes down when he's still got like 12,000 health left. When he roars to get back up, he actually then drops to about 10,000 health. So if you take out the eyes and don't go for the weak spot, as you might be otherwise inclined to do, when he's on his knee, he actually takes more damage overall. This is incredibly easy so far. Yeah, misjudged that though. That's not too bad, first hit. So there is a first aid spray somewhere as well. It's on the other side of the arena. That's what I was looking for a little bit earlier, but I was being clumsy. Nope. Ah. Come on. Yes, okay. So now we wait for him to roar again, and then the eyes will stay out of his chest permanently, which is the point where we can just open fire. So now he's dropped to about 5,000 health. So we're 2/3 of the way there, and we don't have to worry about downing him again. I think he's almost gone. We have an unbelievable amount of ammo considering he's got to be on his last legs now. Come on. That's how you waste ammo. Come on, I'm getting bored now. Oh. How do you know your brightness is too high when the fire blinds you? Oh! Just got bodied? Right. I'll use both, just... I don't want to risk needing to heal. Yes! That last phase took so much longer than I was anticipating, to be completely honest, but we got it done. Right, you're done, you're done, you're done. And we have so much ammo left. Got, what, 550 rounds? I don't anticipate that not being enough. We'll see though, this game likes to surprise me. It could have been a smoother fight, to be completely honest. It was okay, but I was in too much of a rush to get it done to actually take the focus shots to get the maximum damage output.
Thank you for being so nice to me, for helping me. I'm really glad I met you.
You've got it, Sharon. Stay alive. This bit could be a bit of a pain, actually. Yeah. I've got to keep these guys stunned. For long enough to let Sherry do her job. Well, that's not too bad. I think we're okay. Come on, Sherry, any moment now. Yeah, good. That was fine. Come on, Flame-O. Come on. This is the last zombie to dodge. Let's... It's terrible. So I forgot how to dodge zombies. Yep, Sherry, be safe. I've got some killing to do. Hi Leon, bye Leon. We're not doing this today. We're on a time limit. Oh, big monster. Let's kill him. Right, so eye popping is the name of the game. So this is one of those fights, there's plenty of time, you've just got to be careful. And not fire too much. Like, opening up all the way can actually be counterproductive because you end up not popping eyes. Because the eyes aren't there to pop. Well, I seem to be missing quite a few here. Yeah, you've got to let the eyes regenerate. It's not showing much sign of damage yet. That's a bit worrying. So as eye colour changes, it kind of goes yellowy, which I think it's on the verge of. Then gets darker and darker towards red, and when it's deep blood red, you know you're close. Whereas at this moment in time, I'm not seeing much sign of any damage. I'm about to get hit. Yep. He sort of... He does the climb in when he hits his first damage threshold. Which I can't remember how far through that is. Ah, see, you can see the colour change now. I am completely confident that we can kill this guy. What I'm not confident about now is the amount of ammo we're going to have left at the end of it. It's 325 rounds left. I'd say we're about halfway through this. And he's going to do a jump that we... Yep, that was the one. Maybe need to just let my shots be a little bit more focused. A little bit more precise if we're going to stand a chance here. What I'm wondering is the eyes don't always seem to be popping. I wonder if the eyes themselves have like a damage threshold. I can't say I've ever noticed it before because whenever I've fought them before, it's been with like minigun or a grenade launcher, where the damage per bullet is presumably quite high. So every hit is a pop at the very least. Well, this isn't feeling good. This isn't feeling good. Oh, goodness. Come on. Come on. Oh, yep. We're in a bit of trouble now. I've run out of healing pretty much. He is looking quite injured now though, at least. Like, I think he's down to about 1/3 health left. I'm even worried about time a little bit at this stage, to be completely honest. And health. Very much and health. Oh, goodness. This has got me concerned. This is unbelievable. This is so much... worse than I expected it to be. Like, time has even been a problem now. And, oh. Because what we have to do is take him down with enough time left. Right, he's down, and we've got the time left, but I don't think we have the ammo left. We're down to 36 rounds. Oh, that took so much, so much more than I expected.
That almost went horribly wrong.
Just die already. Right. Skip it all, skip it all. We are at the end. This is just about timing. So what I think we need to do is back all the way off. Wait until he gets really close and then just unload everything. If we time this right, it might be possible. The damage multiplier goes up as he gets closer. Come on. Wait till you see the white of his eyes, as it were. Right, I'm going to go now. Well, that was too early. Okay. That was too early. Or it's not possible, but that was definitely too early. If it came to it, I think we could go back to the G3 fight, probably. Maybe save up to 50 bullets there. The G4 fight could maybe save up to 50 bullets there. It's not going to be easy though. It's one of those, it's going to require some serious optimizations. Now. Still not yet. Come on. We're so close.
Hope you like bullets, because I got a hell of a lot more.
I love the speech at this point where both Leon and Claire always talk as though they're just unloading into him.
How the hell are you still kicking?
And I never am. I just never ever am. 36 bullets.
Hope you like bullets,
And each does, I think it's 56 damage. So 4056 is like 2000, which is not enough. Oh goodness. And he takes reduced 87% reduced damage from SMGs. Okay guys, this is not looking possible, unfortunately. I am going to go away and do some research. And then we'll come back.
The next day.
Okay guys, we are back after having done some research and found that I missed some ammo. Well, that is going to help our efforts. 30 rounds to be exact. So, let's fast forward all the way through until just before the G3 boss fight and see what sort of shape we're in. Right, here we are just before the G3 boss fight and looking slightly healthier than last time with a grand total of 851 rounds. So we're about 40 rounds up on last time between better crafting luck and the 30 bullets we found earlier that I conveniently forgot about previously. So the goal is to just do a bit better. Here we go. So yeah, this is really about ammo conservation, which is not looking great already because I've missed the eye multiple times. But hopefully we can get to the end of this. I think last time we completed it with about 550 rounds to spare. So my feeling is that as long as we end up with... Oh Jesus. First attempt. As long as we end up with about 600 rounds, I'll probably be happy. Whoa. Well, that was silly. Come on. Oh. You've got to do better. Cannot be wasting this ammo. I mean, to be fair as well, I'm not going to give away the answer, but I did do some testing against G5, which obviously stumped us last time, and I think it's possible, and I've got a number in mind that I want in terms of the amount of ammo we're carrying. I have a number in mind for how we're going to get through this, but I'm not going to tell you what that number is. It's going to be a surprise. So this is just about precision. Notice I'm doing focus shots where possible. We have the time, what we don't have is the ammo. We just need to make what we have count. Oh, ouchie. Nope. Right, come on. We've got this. This is just about patience and taking care. I'd really like you to go down soon. I'm starting to get worried about my ammo again. I mean, I've still got over 700, and I did say 600 was the number. I was... Oh, Nelly. Oh. Forgot how to move there. We've got this. We've got this. We've not got this. We've not got this. Yes. Oh, yes. Right. This is feeling better. This is feeling better. Die, you big brutey bastard. Right. We have 660 rounds left. I'm still worried about the G4 fight. It did not go as I expected last time. Right, are you getting dodged this time? Yes, you are. Yeah, if I were to change one thing about this run, I would definitely play better. Definitely get hit less. May this be better than last time. Okay, that's looking better. I think he's starting to go into phase 2. Yeah, they're showing a bit of colour now. He's about to climb up. Great. Spend about 100 bullets to get him to there, I reckon. And we've probably taken away, and again, about a third of his health. Seems on track. 450. I think what I might do, out of paranoia this time, is as soon as that damage shield drops, I might just take a heal. I really do not want to risk getting insta-killed. We've got plenty of healing, it's the shield I'm worried about more than anything else. Right, yep, moved that time. I'm not feeling great on ammo. 330. I feel like he should be in this last phase by now. Holy smokes. That was nice, that was nice. Yep, he's showing signs. Okay. Oh! Oh, jeez. He got stuck on the wall there. Getting worried about that bullet count again. Getting worried about the bullet count. Oh, okay. Come on. This has got to be over soon. It's got to be. Give it a rest, you big brute. I honestly cannot believe it's not dropped. Oh! Yes! Ooh. Guys, last time to let me know if you think it's possible. 156 bullets. Remember, each bullet has a default damage reduction of 83%. We are dealing 7 damage per bullet and we need to deal 20,000 damage. And yes, the damage multiplier does go up. But how much? Is it going to be enough?
That doesn't seem... Is that possible?
We need to do 125 damage on average. So we need about a 15 times multiplier on average per bullet. Right. That feels like a sensible moment. Come on. Come on. Oh, yes! Sorry. Yes! Woo. I'm very pleased with myself, in case you could tell. I was very worried there. We had the ammo, but I just wasn't convinced we were even going to be able to get the damage output, just due to the multiplier averaging needn't be so high. But we did it. So yes, guys, that is the challenge. It is indeed possible to beat Resident Evil 2 on hardcore using only the submachine gun, and I very much hope you enjoyed it. And we are going to leave it at that.